Oh my god, can I? Ba, 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 ba. Yo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hope y'all are doing good today. Welcome. God, it has been a nice day. It's truly been a nice day. I'm so happy that I managed to go live way earlier than usual. For once, thank the Lord. Hopefully I can sit down and be streaming for a bit. I've seen a lot of like funny things I want to look at. And after I'm probably done looking at it, I might test out some horror games that from itch.io, because we haven't like played any random like small horror games for a whole minute. Honestly, let's see. Let me just adjust the volume a little bit so it's not too loud. Because I'll always forget to adjust this freaking volume. Holy. Anyways, hi Anna, how you doing? Hello. If you're doing good, Anna. Hi Bomber, how's it going, King? How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. What's up, Patty? Currently cooking. Thanksgiving. Wait, isn't Thanksgiving over? When is Thanksgiving? I thought it was 27. No. Well, good luck. I wish you the best. What are you cooking next to the turkey? Hello, Awaken. How you doing, man? Good morning. This is cold and snowy day. Is it? You know what's funny is that I've had actually a lot of cold and snowy days this whole week. But today it's sunny and all the snow is gone. Like, funny enough, I went a little bit like off the road and I started to see some still remaining ice, but mostly around me the snow is completely gone. My throat is a little fucked. I think something went the wrong way, and I coughed like for like an hour earlier, so my throat is a little bit fucked. Hopefully I can survive the stream. Hi, how you doing, Rattles? Welcome. Hope you're doing good, Rattles. How's it going? Man, oh man, I hope y'all are doing well. Beside the throat, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just happy to be like honestly live right now. It's gonna be fun to go through like some of these topics. I saw a lot of funny videos I want to take a look at, or interesting videos to just chat about. But yeah, how you doing, Skrillex? Welcome. Hope you're doing good, Skrillex. My God, Skrillex, is there a lot of snow where you're at now? Because fuck me, there's like all the snow went away today. Cooking turkey, gravy, mashed potato. Oh my God, dude. I've been seeing a lot of like prep recipes where they use a lot of mashed potatoes. I got to start making mashed potatoes, man. There's so much fiber in potato. I haven't had mashed potatoes in so long. Mac and cheese, deviled eggs. Oh my God. Green bean casserole, stuffing, green beans, corn, and yams. Dude, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Hope you enjoyed the fuck out of that. No snow at all. Been hot and raining the past 2-3 days. Really? Shit. It was like snow outside yesterday. Or 2 days ago. I don't know. Days are blending in now. But today there's like nothing at all outside. Everything is fucking gone. Everything is gone. All the snow is gone. I like cooking for others. It makes me feel important. I actually enjoy cooking for other people too. I think when I was younger, I preferred just like cooking for myself. I was like, I don't want to, I was like, I don't want people to like, I don't know. I don't really mind cooking for others, but like I didn't really get any enjoyment out of cooking for other people. But I think nowadays, for many years now, I've actually enjoyed like seeing other people appreciate the food you make. It is nice. It is nice. Just having like a meal with friends or family or something like that is always nice. Cooking is more fun when you do it for others. It kind of is. I mean, like I kind of zone out when I cook food most of the time. I don't really think too much. I don't really think too much. It's just like I either listen to music or I'm like thinking about shit. So I'm always like phased out when I'm cooking. Apparent that I'm a wizard doing alchemy when I cook. Well, that makes sense. If you play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, alchemy in that game kind of gave me a sense of like it's so it is so weird that I could see you could reflect that as like cooking, because you do so many weird things when you do make like potions and stuff like that in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. I actually thought it was one of the most interactive like alchemy or crafting like games I've seen before. It was pretty good. It was very interesting how I had to remember every recipe and stuff like that. Cooking Mama. Oh my god, I haven't seen. Did y'all play Cooking Mama when you were young? Holy shit, I remember this fucking game. Can Cooking Mama teach me to cook? I don't think it can. I don't think Cooking Mama can teach you to cook. Damn. Consumptionism is an addiction? Oh, might watch this video. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. My YouTube, it seems like my YouTube recommendation is finally showing me something interesting, which is great. What the fuck? I'm getting a lot of videos about the Wicked movie. Apparently there's a new Hunger Game movie coming out. Everybody's like super hyped about that. I'm not really sure. I'm like thinking like if there's like no movies. I looked at the theater the other like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that, and there's like literally no interesting movies out at all. I feel like I haven't been interested in like a movie coming up for a very long time. I saw that The Mummy 4 is going to be made, which I am actually pretty hyped about. I don't know if y'all seen the Mummy series, but it was like super old. It had pretty great actors in it. It was quite funny and enjoyable. And I saw that the original cast is finally getting in together, and they're making a new movie. I don't know how much like how much work has been done. I don't know if they're began or whatever, but I saw the announcement a few weeks ago. Cinema is dying. I think it is. I think it is. I think it was going to be replaced by streaming, but at the same time, I also think streaming is dying. Am I crazy to say that? I actually think streaming is dying as well, because like there's too many subscription fees right now. So people are like, you gotta have like 50 different subscriptions, and it's just exhausting. I think everything is going back to basically television in a way. It's not there yet, but in some sort of way, it's going to be probably a transformed television, where things are just back on like the channels there or something like that. I don't know, but there's just so many subscription now that is exhaust everybody using it. Yeah, pirating. Yeah, I mean, you can also be a pirate. I think pirating is has come back in a big way. I think people pirate a lot more now, because it's like, you know what, like Gabe Newell said, like the creator of Steam, he basically said that like piracy is a service problem. Essentially, whenever like Spotify came out, I actually stopped pirating music and just bought that subscription. I thought it was super easy and simple, and I don't mind Spotify either way now as well. I don't care about it. I think it's great. But I think that if I had to have like 4 different services to listen to music, I think I would be exhausted as well. And I think when it comes to streaming movies or series, you have like all of these shows and all of these different subscription services, and like I remember I talked to Vomer about this not long ago. He told me that Supernatural is going away from Netflix, and it's moving away to a different subscription service, right? And that's like not nice. It's kind of annoying. Now you got to think about that subscription service. Like, it's always this switchery and switching and stuff like that, and they're just too much. So I think it's sort of like that kind of stuff is dying, and definitely slowing down, and piracy is going up in a big way because it's just more convenient. I think it's really weird whenever you can have something cheaper or nearly for free and it's more convenient than actually paying for it. Like, that is the weird, that is like when piracy is more looks more professional and is simpler to use than actual purchasing the product or purchasing a subscription for it. That's like when things are getting a little bit fucked up, and I don't know. All I know is that Netflix has lost like a record-breaking amount of subs, and I don't think any other services are doing that great. Every time I talk to friends, they like talk shit about Disney Plus and all of that. Imagine Spotify equivalent service for movies and shows, like just having everything. Well, the thing is that Spotify is still not perfect. I don't know why, but like, I bet y'all have seen a lot of like songs just randomly be grayed out on your playlist. I see this quite often that this happens, and I don't know what is going on. If the because like the artist, if you click on the artist still has music, but for some reason they have removed that specific song or that. I don't understand the deal with it. If that's a situation where they're like being paid to put it on a different like place, or they're themselves putting it in a different place because of more money, I don't fucking know. But I still see like I have problems with Spotify even. It's not as a big deal as streaming services in itself because most of my music is there, but I do see a lot of songs just randomly completely vanish. Kissing my son to make his bride jealous? The insane parents of TikTok? What? That's some mental shit, man. Absolute mental shit. I actually never experienced that. That's surprising. That's surprising. Maybe because I listen to so many different types of music and have so many playlists. Perhaps that's why. But no, it happens quite often with me. With English, both English, Japanese, and I think French and Arabic music, I noticed this has happened with. Mostly English songs. Ohio, hello, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing, girl in pink? Welcome. What's that about Arabic music? We were talking about streaming services and how like it's inconvenient how movies and series streaming services are like so separated, and you have scenarios where like you have Netflix and you have a show and then a show gets removed from it and then it's placed on another streaming service, and how like all of this is so inconvenient and annoying that piracy is like at the moment at a record. Like a lot of people are going back to piracy. And then we use Spotify as an example, where Spotify often is pretty chill because like you don't feel, imagine if you had like a lot of songs split around on Spotify just randomly being removed and put in another service, and you had to use like 3 different types of like streaming services for music. I think that would be annoying, and people would start using like going to piracy for music again, or finding something like probably YouTube Music. Then in that case I think YouTube Music would win in that case. But point B, and then I use an example that I have had a lot of songs just been grayed out on my playlist. Songs that are just like on my playlist and then grayed out, and then I click on the artist and they still have music, but they've removed for that certain album or that certain song. And I think that I don't know what the reason for that is in music, but I've noticed that with English, Arabic, French, and Japanese music has happened sometimes. Going back to piracy, never left. Yeah, a lot of people never left, but I think a lot of people are coming back to it because like it was very convenient to do to just buy a service, like pay for a service. I don't even blame people for piracy even, because like piracy now, like it's both more convenient and it looks more professional and stylish than what you pay for, which is really weird. It's a weird situation that they have set themselves onto, but it's so I don't know. There's just too many services now. There's too much money being spent. At least in this age where products and costs are higher than earnings. Like if you're like in middle class or underneath that, even middle class struggles having like 50 different services, right? They would save a lot just like not paying for that many services all the time, and it's exhausting for them. Things are so pricey now, so I don't know. Like it's I don't know what they're thinking. I think that streaming services are just gonna keep losing revenue every year, personally. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Sushin? Hi, Musi. Hi. It's been a while. I've been doing good. Because there's two licenses for movie licensing and music license. Yeah, license. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Because people are buying the licenses, and that's why they're separating each other. And it's just exhausting for the consumer, because the consumer doesn't care about licenses. They care about they're paying for the product, and expecting to see what they want. You know, I burn my. Gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. Do you have Sudocreme? I do have Netflix, but I'm never getting Crunchyroll. Oh, fuck Crunchyroll. I used Crunchyroll ages ago. Like when it came out, I used it for like a few years, I think 3 years or something. But they started like removing a lot of series and stuff like that, and they were getting really weird about because I had like my region would show like no anime at all. And it was like completely pointless. And there was like an extension that you can just install that allowed you to see the American section on Crunchyroll. And Crunchyroll was like super against it for some, like they were super against it. And when they like completely banned it, I was like, okay, I'm done using this shit. I'm not paying for this anymore. Or fucking Adobe Premiere. Oh, fuck Adobe. I had to use Adobe during my studies, which I wasn't like that big of a fan of. I like Photoshop. I really like Photoshop, but Adobe has been really weird recently. I never liked Adobe Premiere that much though. Yeah, they're taking away Supernatural, moving to Peacock, the lamest. Like exactly, like that's annoying. Those are the situations where you just like don't want to deal with it anymore. Cancellation fee being almost $100 is crazy. That should be not allowed. That's insane. Or fucking Adobe Premium. I don't like. I think Adobe. Haven't a lot of people left Adobe? I think a lot of like people have stopped using Adobe because of their way of. I think that a lot of people just don't like their AI usage or something like that, or how they're like learning on your work or something like that. I don't remember what it was. I haven't used Adobe in a while. Gotta be proud of watching anime on my Linux terminal. Bro, you're going hard at it. Sitting there with Linux. Oh my god. I would love to change. I always wanted to change into Linux, but there's so many issues with Linux I don't want to deal with. But at the same time, I have 1 year left because I'm in Europe. I have 1 year left of Windows 10 support. 1 fucking year left. If Windows 12 isn't great or Windows 11 is fixed, I might need to switch to Linux, which will be, I don't know. It will be an interesting transition. What issues? I'm not standing for a Linux slander. Oh, I don't think this I wouldn't call it slander. I think Linux is great, but there's like a lot of issues within gaming for Linux. There's often situation where Linux just doesn't run, and you could have like issues with your services that you're using. Like there's a lot of things that are just working for Windows, and I have like friends that are like Linux diehard lover, and they say that you can turn everything and it works with whatever, that it just works with whatever is just capable for Windows. But when I see in practicality, when I see people use it and try it out, I've seen a lot of errors and things not function and stuff like that. Now, I've never stepped my feet into Linux, I don't really know, but I've seen a lot of people have issues with certain softwares or games in a sense, and I feel like I don't want to deal with that nightmare. Linux should be a school class. I think people should I think Linux should have more focus I think people should have more focus on Linux. I think most software and games should focus on like working with Linux as well, and not just Windows. I know that there's like a separate gap where they're trying sometimes, like often, to make it work with Mac OS, but I think that it would be better off trying to work with Linux. You taking the easy route is not very giga like chat. Okay. You're right, but I have to. Like, can you imagine the nightmare if I had like a lot of like software issues now while streaming? I'd go insane. I'd go insane. There's so much, and this is my biggest concern about switching to like Windows 11, is that my entire setup would be brick. Like all my sound and everything, like everything would be fucked up, and like my streaming stuff, it would be so many issues. As a Linux user, I'm scared of Arch users. Oh damn. Evolution of Christmas. What is this? One day I'll probably switch to Linux. One day, one fucking day, it might happen, because like I'm so like Windows is just so much issues. There's so many problems with it. Anyways, if the majority of games worked on Linux, I'd be using it all the time. I think so too. I think if I knew that majority of games were focused on working with Linux always, I think I would jump on it too. When it comes to sound and setup and stuff, I'll probably figure out a path. Like, I don't think the usage of Linux is that bad. Dude, we have a lot of videos. Okay, should we start? My God. I didn't even realize. I've just been like adding more and more videos as I go. OBS works on Linux as well as streaming. Well, yeah, I know, because I have like something. We're using Linux for the 24/7 channel. Didn't want to have Windows nonsense. Let's see. I want to look at this. Yeah, nothing. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Just another side project. Let's see. Gotta go. Happy streaming. Have a good one, girling. Wish you the best. Hope your exam went well, by the way. All right, we're gonna get into some reacts now. I want to take a look at it. We have so many things to check out. You know what? I'll start with. Sure. We can start with something quick, real quick. Yesterday I went through some kind of stupid VTuber drama that I thought would end with that, but apparently they dropped a Google Doc, and let's just go real quick through this. Let's see what this is about.
The context. Cha-Cha Chilla is an indie VTuber who got herself into a controversy on November 17th, 2025, when she made a call-out post against VTubing agency Socks Agency, Flork, the agency CEO, and Adfree VT, a talent under the agency, for allegedly downplaying Cha-Cha's disability due to allegations that Adfree called Cha-Cha inferior in a Minecraft role-playing server. This would get refuted.
Basically, there was a role-playing server and somebody called her inferior because they were opposite end, and she took it personal because she's disabled or something like that. That's pretty much the drama, and then she want to sue them.
by a multitude of individuals, and Cha-Cha would face allegations of being a serial harasser, bully, and doxer from many individuals, with Mythos talent
she had like 3 different type of personalities in the past.
Apollo taking the lead in these allegations. Cha-Cha would initially apologize for starting the drama on November 18th, but would contest Apollo's allegations by asking for proof. She would then claim that she went to the hospital, where she allegedly wouldn't have access to her phone. She would then post on Twitter roughly 14 minutes later with a self-proclaimed picture of herself, though the validity of this picture was put into question. The next day, Cha-Cha would threaten legal action against Apollo for slander and defamation, but would take down the associated posts shortly after. Cha-Cha would attempt to put out a proper apology on November 22nd, where she would apologize for hurting others and admit to making mistakes. But it would turn out that this apology was—
Look at this. This thing had 1.1 million views. Isn't that crazy? This dumb drama has 1.1 million views. Man, this whole thing is so stupid.
Allegedly fully written by generative AI.
Nice. I love that.
The Google Docie. On November 24th, 2025, Cha-Cha would post a 12-page Google Docie.
Wow, who the fuck read that? That has to be AI as well. Like, there's no way you wrote 12 pages. You couldn't write one apology on your own. You didn't write 12 pages.
The intent to prove that Apollo allegedly slandered her for years. She would start by pasting her original doc against Apollo back in May of 2023 as Bunny Alisu, where she explained how she reached out to Apollo during an intense period of depression that led to a self-deletion attempt on May 6th. She would explicitly state that she sent Apollo a self-deletion note, to which she would regret doing. She would claim that, after garnering initial support from Apollo and her partner, she would get later blocked by them, along with 2 mutual friends, after joining Apollo's group server to socialize. She would attempt to reach out to Apollo from 2 alt accounts, to which she would get no real response from them until later on. Cha-Cha would claim that Apollo spread the idea that Cha-Cha's self-deletion attempt was fake, to which she would attempt self-deletion again on May 9th. This would be the end of the original document. Continuing forward, Cha-Cha would claim that Apollo allegedly slandered her name by stating that she doxed Apollo and posted revenge porn, and would claim that the evidence that she tried to present to Mythos, the agency itself, was disregarded. Cha-Cha would also state that Mythos talent Hades reached out to her to explain the situation.
I think there is something wrong, and this is not me defending this girl at all or whatever, but or going against Apollo, whatever. But there's something wrong whenever you are allegedly saying that somebody doxed or sexually assaulted somebody and you have no proof at all. There's no evidence or anything like that, and we should just take you for the word of it. It's kind of hard, and definitely if the proof was shown to the organization and they dismissed it and didn't think it's valid, it's hard. It's wild you're letting that post stay and didn't clear it up. Like you're putting like a lot of damage there.
To which Cha-Cha would have a fierce argument with Hades and Trey Legacy, an assistant manager for Mythos, over Cha-Cha's allegations, where they urged her to stop with their allegations and to just move on, as the screenshots that Cha-Cha sent as evidence
were— You know, like this situation could have been like, we could have been over as long as if she just didn't even care about that insult, we would be done. Like, who cares? Even if she cared and just didn't reply to the feedback and just moved on, we would have been done. But no, we're here. It just keeps on going.
Proven to be fraudulent by Mythos. Cha-Cha, however, would not budge, and still doesn't budge to this day. The responses. The response from the community was overwhelmingly negative, with the majority of individuals stating that Cha-Cha has failed to meet the burden of proof behind her allegations.
I provided evidence that Apollo has been slandering me for years. No, you didn't. You showed her once warning somebody about you. That's literally it, Lamau. That doesn't even count for slandering. You need to log out and stop this obsession. This is just sad. Man.
Especially when she confirmed that she attempted self-deletion just for attention, and urged her to stop with the saga of allegations towards Apollo. Hades would confirm that a screenshot that claimed to be an interaction between her and Apollo was completely fabricated, as the style of communication in the screenshot was vastly different from how Hades normally communicates. Cha-Cha remained adamant that she had met the burden of proof through this document across various replies to individuals. The aftermath. On November 26, 2025, Cha-Cha would make a rather—
By the way, did you see that where is it? These tweets? This tweet has 68,000 people looking at it. 9 likes. 49,000 people looking at it. 4 likes. 50,000 1 like. 36,000. Dude, this is crazy.
Across various replies to individuals. The aftermath. On November 26, 2025, Cha-Cha would make a rather ominous post towards Apollo that would get deleted shortly after, and would make a questionable post asking people to delete information about a quote-unquote perceived enemy, which some have inferred to be doxed information regarding Apollo, though this hasn't been confirmed as of this video and is purely speculation. As of this video, Cha-Cha remains semi-active on Twitter, though she has recently slowed down on her posts. Given the nature of this drama, there is a still decent chance that Cha-Cha will continue to make posts regarding the situation,
oh, please
whether
don't.
due to a genuine belief that she's in the right and wants to continue defending herself, or as a way to garner engagement through negative reactions.
Maybe that's
Unless something major happens.
Maybe she's just doing it because she gets more attention.
Such as legal action or a Google doggy is speaking out against Cha-Cha, I don't intend to continue coverage of Cha-Cha to
This scenario is dumb, and I'm surprised we're having a second video of it. But good on explaining this. That is crazy.
avoid feeding further engagement.
Yeah.
I hope you guys understand my reasoning behind this choice.
No, I get it.
As with all my videos, do not harass anyone in or outside of this video.
That is crazy. I'm surprised this kept on going. This situation is so stupid. It could have been ended a long time ago, and you just escalate. This ain't even high school drama. This is like a middle school situation. Well, you could have ended this a long time ago. I think you're just getting your feelings hurt over something you shouldn't have. You're in the wrong space and you're in the wrong place, and you're definitely should have just laid low. You should just lay low, lay down, and not worried about this at all. Stop tweeting. Just stop being on Twitter, I guess. I don't know. Go have fun with friends and stream. Have fun. Like this ain't it, and it's not good for you. My god, what a weird like sometimes like you remember when people really got deep down into these dramas? Now this shit is just like pathetic, honestly. Nasty and ad, what the hell is that? Anyways, we're talking about something pathetic. Apparently we killed the Acolyte. Remember the Acolyte series? Ooh, that was not a good thing.
Life really does come at you fast, and never more so than when you're responsible for blowing $250 million on the most wildly and hilariously disliked Star Wars project since the holiday special.
I think that is impressive. I think it's impressive whenever you can see like a big company just burn money. They're like, you know what? We have inflation. We got a solution. Let's just burn it. Let's just make this the wasted out. Let's just make something dog shit. Perfect.
Show so monumentally unpopular that Lucasfilm were forced to take the unprecedented step of announcing its actual cancellation instead of their usual tactic of just never talking about it again and hoping that everyone forgets about it. And for some people, that kind of god-tier failure would probably be a good opportunity for self-reflection, a chance to reconsider the creative decisions that were made, and maybe even learn a bit of humility in the process. Not so with the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland, who recently emerged from whatever pit of obscurity she's been hiding in for the past year or so to do a puff piece interview with The Wrap, where she
I think it's impressive how these writers and showrunners have their ego is insane. They just are so out of it, and they can't take any criticism at all. They think anything they do is better than the original craft. It's better and it's great, and whatever people say negative about it is wrong. They're a hater. They hate this. They hate us. They hate blah blah blah. They never take criticism and learn from it. And I think it's insane that you have studios and companies like Disney and Netflix still hiring them. I just don't understand how there's like no secondhand confirmation to double check how things are going and how they're allowing this to go through, because they're just wasting their money for no reason. And look at that smile. Look, that's the smile of a lady that got paid and burned $1 billion or whatever the hell she's burned, like multiple $1 million from Disney. You know what? If I burn multiple $1 million from Disney, maybe I also would have a smile like that. Maybe I'd also be that happy. How you doing, Baird?
Proceeded to duck all responsibility for the disaster and shift the blame to the latest convenient scapegoat for Hollywood's failures: content creators.
Right.
That's right, us YouTubers are the reason we never got season 2 of The Acolyte.
Of course.
You're welcome, world.
Yes.
But for the sake of argument, and because I could use a good laugh today, let's take a look at Leslie's totally unbiased and reasonable view on the thing. Quote, the content that's being put out by the streamers or the studios is being snatched up by these other creators, and so commentaries, synopses, live videos, all of the ways that these creators make money through viewer-based ad revenues and their Patreons, there's a lot of money to be made. What can I say?
I mean, you can always make an excuse, and this is like a League of Legends players trying to play ranked there, or any like a ranked competitive game where people are just blaming their team and not reflecting on themselves. This is just a situation where you have a showrunner that can't look at her craft and decide, you know what, I fucked up. They can't look at criticism. They can't look at IMDb or Rotten Tomato. They can't look at reviews and understand like how people are perceiving it. They can't even, when they view it in a different manner than everybody else. And that's the thing, is as a creator, you can always create something and view it in a certain way, but people consuming it will always have a different perspective. And that is why you should always listen and to take criticism. But if you think to yourself that content creators have such power on the dynamic of people's consumption, then you are wrong. Now, they do have some form of power. They do have a power on the sense of being the things that pushes you over the edge. But most of the time, they don't need that. They don't need that push if you have created something good, because people, word of mouth is the biggest advertising that exists. And everybody loves Star Wars. Star Wars is big. But whenever you make something trash within the Star Wars universe, nobody's gonna like that. Everybody's gonna know it is trash. But when you have like a good show like Andor, everybody's gonna speak positively about it. I would never watch Andor, for example, if not everybody said something positive about it. I gave it a shot. I absolutely loved it. But then I gave other Star Wars shows a shot and I didn't like it at all.
Hey, welcome to the internet, Leslie. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's this crazy place where people offer up their opinions about things, especially things they're passionate about, like, oh, I don't know, Star Wars. And other people are free to agree or disagree with those opinions. Sometimes those opinions can be positive, with shows like Andor, The Mandalorian, or even Skeleton Crew. Other times they can be negative, like with Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or The Acolyte. It just so happens that you made a show the vast majority of people didn't like, and so the vast majority of the coverage on it was negative. Unlike the legacy media outlets, such as the one you're talking to right now, who only get that sweet access to cast and crew interviews, advanced screenings and studio tours, provided they play ball and give the most positive reviews possible. I bet you're totally fine with those, aren't you? Yeah. And by the way, have at it. Get your coin 100%. But it revealed to me that there's a misunderstanding between the studios and that engagement. They think of it as fandom, and in ways it is, but studios use it almost like this focus group. It is a focus group. In fact, it's arguably the best and most comprehensive focus group a studio could ask for. Not only does it include literally thousands of creators willing to invest a great deal of time and effort breaking down the strengths and weaknesses of a particular project, often in autistic levels of detail, but each one of those videos also comes with thousands, if not tens of thousands of comments, either agreeing or disagreeing with the sentiments expressed and elaborating on particular points and details. And the best part? It's all completely free.
I know, right? This is the thing, is that you're looking at this as a negative thing. And yeah, sure, the response is negative, but you are getting the real takes. You're getting multiple people's perspective on it, and you're getting proper feedback. You should be thankful, because people would pay a lot of money to get like that kind of reviews in itself.
With an actual emotional investment in the thing, i.e. the audience. Not disinterested normies you pulled off the street for a quick test screening, or rabid activists who couldn't give a shit about storytelling or entertainment as long as your show pushes the political talking points they agree with, but actual fans of the product. The people you're supposed to be appealing to. Studios would actually be well advised to listen to content creators a bit more. Not one particular creator, but the broad plurality of their opinions, because believe it or not, most of them understand your audience better than you do, because they're part of it. As a result, Headland predicted a move towards a world where the content being made about Star Wars will be more culturally impactful than actual Star Wars.
That's weird.
For once, Leslie and I are in complete agreement, but only because Star Wars made itself culturally irrelevant by becoming a dull, unimaginative corporate product instead of the artistic vision of a passionate creative, and a mouthpiece for divisive and tedious identity politics that gradually pushed away its own audience. Instead of being an escape route to a fantastical world, world of adventure and heroism in a galaxy far, far away, it instead got saddled with all the baggage, gripes, and mundane grievances of modern culture. Instead of inspiring entertainment, Star Wars became just another stick to beat people over the head with the message.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, that shit got
Yes.
real old real fast. We tried to warn you.
Love
We
that.
did for years, in fact. You just didn't want to listen to us.
Glad I never watched it.
And
I
well,
never did either. The thing is that I saw some scenes from Acolyte that looked cool, but I also seen a lot of scenes that didn't even make sense. Wasn't there like a scene where there's like fire on the ship outside in space? It's like, okay, what? And she's like trying to like put it out with a extinguisher. Like what is going on? Slay,
Now you're
yes.
reaping the rewards.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
There are some of them that I respect, and there are some of them that I think are absolute.
What is this? Then of course there are the fascists and racists. So it runs gamut. It isn't just a thing for other. Oh my god! That Star Wars is a fantasy world, right? And when the charm about fantasy worlds is an escape. Whenever you put all of these real life politics and problems into a fantasy series or a game, you're not allowing us to escape. You're reminding us about the things around us. This is the wrong take and the wrong way to go. Absolutely the wrong way to go. And you don't understand it because you are not a fantasy like project runner or a writer. You're just somebody that saw a big project and got the chance to get the big bag. That is literally it. This is your opportunity to put your message or whatever feeling you have or lazy writing you do. And this is where we ended up. Like, I think that, yeah, sure, a lot of like these things are important, but we shouldn't force these on people's throats in places where they're trying to relax, because people have their daily life and they're trying to have fun and enjoy themselves and escape a little bit whenever they watch these things. But whenever you remind them about all the bullshit going on in real life and all the arguments and discussion people have, then that doesn't really help.
Snake oil salesmen, just opportunists.
How you doing, Holyy?
Then, of course, there are the fascists and racists.
Of course.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure about
Yeah,
that?
that's the problem. That's the
still-
problem about this show. There's the fascists and racists are watching it.
Still doing this, are we? The old anyone who disagrees with me is literally Hitler argument. Like, you know that became a meme about 5 years ago, right? It's such a mindlessly dismissive argument that's
Wow.
been used so many times in so many situations where it absolutely doesn't apply that it literally means nothing at this point.
Look how slow he is. Can you just like watch this clip again?
So many situations where it absolutely doesn't apply that it literally means nothing at this point.
Am I so out of touch?
Calling someone a fascist in 2025 is like a jilted ex-girlfriend telling the world you're crap in beds. It's just
Yes.
something that everyone kind of tunes out now. And all of it is nothing but a deflection from the real issue here, that Leslie Headland made a bad TV show. Not just a bad TV show, but an obnoxiously, hilariously bad TV show, and she had no excuses for why. It wasn't down to studio interference or lack of budget and resources. She was given all the money and talent that a filmmaker could ask for, the full backing of one of the biggest studios in Hollywood, and one of the best sandboxes you could ever hope to play in. She was given a creative and financial blank check, and she still managed to fuck it up. Why?
Wait, is this the guy from... Never mind.
Still managed to fuck it up. Why? Because fundamentally she told a story that resonated with one person only. Herself. She wanted characters that reflected her own hang-ups and insecurities, and she got them. She wanted to push messages and themes that she personally agreed with, and she did.
With game? Yeah, I was wondering too. Because it looks like, because of the wig or something, look kind of modified, so I'm not really sure if it's him or not.
Wanted to give her wife a job opportunity, so she cast her as a character with zero personality and
Like,
no...
this is the thing I'm noticing, not her, but I've seen a lot of character here. It looks like their faces or something is modified. Like, I don't know. I think he lost a bunch of weight, maybe. But like, I've noticed this with a lot of character. They look like kind of off-putting.
qualities. She was given someone else's sandbox to play in, and she
Nice.
took a big steaming dump in it. And then she wonders why people pushed back against her. The Acolyte failed because it was made for one person and one person only, Leslie Headland.
There you go.
She can cope and deflect all she wants about the reception it got, but at the end of the day...
How does this make sense? Her lightsaber turns red from blue? Isn't this like a crystal thingy? Like, that's not how it works, right? It's not like it feeds on your emotions or true self. It doesn't. No, it's like a, yeah, it's a crystal. Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
About the reception it got, but at the end of the day, all the
maybe she never read Star Wars or watched Star Wars, so she doesn't know.
Criticism and pushback was nothing but a reflection of her own.
The color is entirely on the crystal. Yeah, exactly. How can how does it change from blue to red? Because she's like a Sith now? Doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it's the crystal thing, and the crystal come from a part of space that are controlled by individual factions. Exactly. What the fuck is this, man?
Failure. Perhaps in time she'll learn and grow from that failure, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah, I will. Holy. That is not how lightsaber bleeding works at all. It's a really intense thing that requires deep emotion. Yeah, I don't think this really is how it works. I don't think you just suddenly, oh my god, I'm actually a Sith, so my crystal changes color from blue to red. Red lightsaber are kyber crystal that are bled with the Sith by the Sith. Yeah. So this doesn't make sense. Like, a lot of scenes in the show doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't think he even showed that like fire scene. Maybe he did, but like, there's like, I just think this show, everything I've seen about this show sucks. And I don't even know if it's the actor's fault. I don't think it is even the actor's fault, because like, I haven't even seen any acting really. I see the fight scene and I think they look kind of shit. I'll be real. Do think the fight scene looks kind of shit. It doesn't look that entertaining or cool or badass. I wouldn't be this hyped about this, but mostly it's just the writing and the scene play. Like, most of this just doesn't make sense and looks weird and looks awkward. And I just don't want to touch this show. It doesn't feel like Star Wars in any sort of way. Like, it doesn't feel like an adventure either. I think that most of the time Star Wars felt like an adventure. But I've noticed with a lot of the shows coming out from Star Wars, many of them just don't feel like an adventure in itself. Why would they know that they're too busy pushing narratives to learn the real lore? I think this is a real problem. I hope it starts dying out in Hollywood, is just sitting here hiring people that doesn't even understand what the source material is about. Because it's clearly they're just burning money, and I don't even understand how Disney, Netflix, and everybody else are allowing. They wouldn't touch the show with the Varmers. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. It would have been crazy. But anyways, this is a great video. W video. This is so stupid. Well, I hope she doesn't do any more Star Wars. Like, it doesn't really make sense she would. I don't think Disney want to work with her after this. My lord. See. Holy. But yeah. Oh.
Zealous Pursuer just subscribed. Holyy, is that my king buff to me?
Appreciate it, by the way. Thank you so much, Zelos. Thank you for the fat tier 3 sub for 10 years. I appreciate that. That's crazy. For 10 fucking years, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Zelos. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good, King. I appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know like what happens with the notification. I would assume that now that I stream on YouTube and I have also like Discord and stuff, like now we have 3 sources of notifications. I just curious, in your opinion, VTuber question for you. Yeah, go ahead. Send it my way. Do you consider that Burnt Peanut, if you've ever heard of him, a VTuber, since the model uses in the classic VTuber model we're used to seeing? No, VTubing derives from idol cultures. Burnt Peanut is using like a apple filter to become a peanut. He's not a VTuber. He's not a VTuber at all. I saw that. I think I commented on it when I saw VTuber, like who's the best VTuber or something on Streamer Award, and Burn Peanut was there. Burn Peanut is massive. I see he's massive. He's a massive streamer, and probably he seemed like a charming guy as well. But he's not a VTuber at all. Not in any sort of sense. I don't think he's anything related to VTubing. He's a virtual character, yes, sure. But I think people are misunderstanding what VTubing is. Yeah. He exploded in the past couple of months. Good for him. I wonder what he did specifically. I wonder exactly what the fuck he did. If he just was lucky or had the right hype or were ready for the time. But something happened. I saw something. I don't know. I saw some comments, but I've not really looked too much into it. But I watched his stream a little bit. He seems like a nice dude. Just being himself. Okay, thank you. I was just curious. Yeah. No, I don't think. I don't think the Snapchat or Apple filter is VTubing at all. There's like things you do as a VTuber and stuff like that it's just like it doesn't have any time of correlation. He's definitely a virtual character though, that's for sure. But yeah, I saw he has like I think he's like 50,000 views or something. He's popping off. Good for him. It's nice to see new streamer pop off and not the same ones all the time. I did think that I feel like when I look at Streamer Award and stuff like, I feel like I see the same people all the time. But I think that Cutie is like inviting more her friends and putting her friends on like those awards than other new people that are kind of reaching out and getting bigger and stuff like that. It's kind of boring. I don't really care about Stream Award. What I'm excited for is the Game Award. I can't wait to see Expedition 33 win every single award. I started watching him when he was 5K, about 5K. Damn. It's pretty early. Holy shit. Yeah, Streamer Award has no credibility. I thought the idea at the beginning was pretty cool. Hi, Washington. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought it was pretty cool at the beginning, but now it's just clear that I'm seeing the same people and same friends. Like, I don't even know. Like, I haven't looked at it. I saw the controversy. I looked a little bit at it. I think I only looked at who's being selected in the VTubing award. I was like, oh, why is the same people again? Like, I think the problem I have with these awards shows, this doesn't, like, I'm not talking about like game awards now, but like I'm talking about these streamer award shows, is that they're showing the same people all the time. And I feel for VTubers are like, they have their own category and they don't tend to be outside of their category, right? They usually don't. There's very rare cases where Iron Mouse, for example, is. But when you look at the VTubing section, you see the same people most of the time every year. And I think that that's a bit of a problem. Like, we've seen them. They're there. They're contested. And they probably had a great year. But there's so many out there. And they should deserve an opportunity to be shown as well, because it's a big advertisement for them to be a contestant for the award. And I think that you should look at more talents that are big, that have had great years or something like that, or done amazing things this year, and invite them to become a participant of like the award. And the same goes for every single award, because when I look at the awards, I see it all the time. I mean, like what are we gonna see? We're gonna see always the same people all the time on these award shows, and it's just like, it's so boring. First, now Kenji was nominated last year. He's not nominated last year. And I'm not talking about Kenji in this sense. He's only been nominated once. He's only nominated once. I don't really know exactly how much Kenji did this year. I've been like so out of it on the VTubing space. I wish I could watch Kenji more, but he streams so late. Like, he streams when I always I'm resting, so I haven't really caught his streams in a while, which is a bummer, because this is like one of the few VTubers I really enjoy watching. But yeah. Hi, how you doing, Cherry? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're doing good. Welcome, welcome. Well, anyways, it is what it is. Let's move on to the next thing. Consumerism is an addiction. Oh boy, the amount of dumb stuff I've been seeing people go crazy about is nuts. I think people wasting too much of their money. Like I think people just like wasting their money at this point.
Consumerism. Now, we all consume products to an extent. Obviously, I'm not going to put my life on the line for a product. Based on how some of these people behave in the video, they might. Like, I know it's exaggerated, but it's not out of the picture. But they at least act like they're putting their life on the line. This has got to be the prime era for consumerism, at least as of right now. And not to mention that everything turns into a trend so fast now because of the internet. It makes shit so easy to spread. Even people will spread their cheeks wide open on the internet. Okay, what? Products have been starting to go viral. You get the point, though. Now, to an extent,
this is mostly TikTok's fault, though. Everything going viral is coming from TikTok.
Can cause people to get too hyped up about products to the point where we have grown unks crashing out about products. We have people throwing things, breaking things, elbowing each other. And the most recent example of this is when shopping looks like an absolute addiction.
I thought it was actually a little bit sad. Maybe it's just me, but like when I looked at these Starbucks like cups, I didn't see a single individual that looked like they were under the age of 40 going for these beer cups at 4 a.m. Like I felt like I don't know, like I felt like if you were like if you're such a grown adult and you're that passionate about a glass cup and gonna go to war and fight and like argue with people and sit there for 10 hours just in a queue to get a glass cup, like I don't know, like I feel like you just have a lot of free time. I don't know, like it's just a little bit weird in a sort of sense, because I could understand like when you're like younger you have like an obsession about like certain things, but when I've seen like proper grown adults still go insane about this, it shocks me a little bit.
The bear cups. Now, bear cups are an absolute money grab.
My lord, maybe, you know what, they were smart. I should have got one.
Now, this is what a bear cup is. Doesn't it look familiar? Is this not just pack of 6 Billy B pure Canadian clover honey 12 ounces? It looks pretty
perfect.
Similar. Now, if you actually did buy this thing, I don't care. It's your bread, obviously. You choose how to spend your money. But personally, what I would have done is hop onto Walmart.com and buy this thing for $13.99. Order it to the house. Put the Starbucks logo on top and call it a day. If I was in that situation, it would have saved me not only time, but also $20 and maybe a few elbows to the face, because people were throwing elbows over this shit after waiting in a line for, get this, since 4 a.m.
Yeah.
People were here at 4 in the morning.
No. People were there since 9 p.m. the day before. I saw the video. I saw the thingies, man. They were in queue since 9 p.m. the day before.
Just for them to have one in stock because the employees already bought them.
You're watching people in New Jersey elbowing each other, trying to get their hands on Starbucks' newest holiday product. People waited in long lines even before the store opened just to try to snag one. And
people are obsessing over this thing. Like, why are you obsessing over a cup? It's just a cup. Oh my god.
Look how cute it is. I love that.
I spent $1,000 just so I could get.
I spent $1,000 to get the viral Starbucks cup. Oh my god.
The Starbucks cup.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. If you were buying the scalped version of the bear cup, you're getting finessed. You're not gonna care about this product in 2 months' time. It doesn't even fit in cup holders in cars. How are you gonna take it places?
It doesn't even fit.
But you know, I have to applaud the marketers behind this, because how did they get people to go crazy over this? I don't get it. It's literally just Billy B honey, and you can buy it at Walmart for $15. Like, honestly, I'd rather have Billy B because it would fit into cup holders. Yeah, sure, it has stubby little arms, but still, it fits in a cup holder. It's safe to say consumerism and consumer trends are an addiction.
I think the point of the cup is to bring it to Starbucks so they can fill it up. I think that's the point of it. And I don't know if you're allowed to bring anything else that is Starbucks related.
The guy shaking
I hate this FOMO meta. Yeah, they brought in gacha gaming into real life and people are losing it.
Asking himself, how are people this hyped over a bear cup?
Watching my bear cup being filled up for the first time is an euphorical feeling.
Here I am arriving to my local Kroger, which actually has a Starbucks.
Bro, this guy. Look how he's so excited to react to this video. The emotions. I love it. Love it.
2 a.m.
Love that.
Can I get you?
Sorry, you gotta wait over there.
I want. Oh, we made it. That was stressful.
We made it for this.
Thank God.
Yep, we made it. We made it, guys.
Let's go.
We made it.
Let's go.
This has got to be a form of unemployment. It's not even about like whether you buy the thing or not. It's about saying or acting like you need this thing. Now, similar to the Bear Cup, people were really getting hyped about the Stanley Cup in 2023 and 2024 as
this
well,
one,
which it has a very similar
wait, I remember
premise.
this.
It's just a cup. And you know, Stanley is the OG of this. I got to admit, bro, Stanley is a consumerism powerhouse, or it was when it was trending, but the guy probably made generational wealth already. But now in 2025, I don't think anybody uses Stanley Cups. I mean, maybe you have some people using them still, but everybody moved on to a Wallace. I mean, hey, it's just a cup at the end of the day, so don't be surprised if people move cups. But during that era, Stanley had the cup market by its ass. I guess who's behind?
I think I remember hearing parents being like having these, talking about them being so expensive and the kids want to have them, and if you didn't have them you were getting bullied and shit like that. Like, that's the thing, is that like kids are like, they're PvP about these market. If you don't have the right things, you're like out of the brand, man. You're poor.
This Valentine's Day collab that people were rushing for and waited over the store yet again overnight. Starbucks, they did a collab with Target.
Valentine's Day with Stanley. Look at that.
History repeats itself, bro. This
Amazing.
is just living proof. People were dead ass running for the cup, sprinting with all their might for a cup. I'm willing to bet this is the most effort they put into running in years. I mean, look at this. This is a life depends on it type of run.
Look at them running, man. They haven't ran like that in years. Wow. This is crazy. For a cup, by the way.
They're camping out like they're waiting for Coachella. All you would need is some grills and like some cars, and it would look like a tailgate to a football game. There's no way a cup had this much hype. And then I don't see the harm in buying a regular one. Well, at the time, I don't know. Apparently, they got into some controversy. Apparently, there was like some sort of lead in the cup. Now, another thing I would see people fight over were Pokemon cards. People would fight for these things tooth and nail at Costco throughout this year. Personally, I grew up with Pokemon cards. I fuck with them heavy. But look, there is no need to be doing all this.
Go. Oh my God.
Hey, don't do that, bro.
Bro, don't do that, bro.
Go.
Bro, what are you doing? Bro. He's going for more. Oh shit, he was. Oh, look at that. Wow.
Yeah. Grown unks doing this, by the way.
Grown unks.
Doing this for like $50 a profit. Like, scalpers have been like making everything worse in terms of like collecting shit. Because in 2025, scalping is just through the roof. It's like the new method. People would just
like, it's easy money. Like, can you blame them? It's easy money.
Buy these in stock and then just resell them for a really high price. That's why these are like mad hyped up for no reason.
I heard some people make their monthly, like, this is their way of living. They just make a lot of money doing this and then they take a break. This is their job. Look at that. Ooh. Oppa. Oh. You can only take 5. Like, what the hell? You can't take more. You see these guys are trying to get more, man. I wouldn't even
stood a chance in that Costco. Like, I would be crying because all these grown-ass people wouldn't even let me get one box. They were trying to get all the boxes they could, do the most to make a profit. Now, don't get me wrong, the Pokemon craze has always existed, but it is...
That seems like a really stressful way to make a living. What if you're like a Giga Chad, right? And you have like... You're just massive. And you go in there and you're just like... You just push everybody away and you pick 5 like 5 big boxes and nobody would fuck with you then. Like, if you're like a giant monster, I don't think nobody would try to take a box from you if you took all of them. Pushing over grandma and small children, yeah, like you just walk through that shit.
Just gotten even crazier with scalpers. Now, I don't even know if these people are actual Pokemon fans in the video. They could just be people trying to get a quick buck off the packs. Like, this shit turned into the new method for resellers. Crumble. I don't know how the crumble cookie hype train started, but it seemed like they deadass became popular over overnight. And then everyone just started talking about how good it was online. But Crumble has done...
A lot of these things are people, big TikTokers getting paid to advertise it, and it turns into trends.
On some crazy collabs, I can't even lie. They made some moves in the marketing department. Like, they had the Moonbeam ice cream cookie. They had everybody hyped up, raving about this thing. Because what the hell is a Moonbeam ice cream? It got people curious. And then they also had the Dubai chocolate cookie. It was like limited edition. And apparently these 2 cookies had people out the door. As in, like, they were waiting outside the door. Even in 2024, I don't know what they release in 2024, but it had this type of line.
For a cookie?
Ooh, that is impressive. That is impressive.
It always had hype around it. Now, I mean, I tried the cookie. It was decent, but it is most definitely not worth this line.
Like, I tried a Dubai chocolate, and I thought it was pretty, like, it was okay. It costed a lot of money. It was okay. I wouldn't say I would buy it again.
I'd rather cook up Pillsbury Doughboy Turkey Thanksgiving cookies, or those Christmas cookies. I'm taking these any day over Crumble. Who would wait in this line for cookies? Like, when I went to Crumble, there was like nobody in there. So I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a try. This type of line is insane though. The TikTok shop. Now, I don't know if TikTok thinks I'm just gonna buy a bunch of their products, but half the videos on my For You page, it feels like, are all ads. And that's somebody targeting a shop product to me. It'll be the craziest story ever, and then they'll just pop out the cut with like a TikTok product, which honestly is solid marketing to an extent until I see the little ad in the corner and then I just scroll. I don't even like give them the time of day. Now, normally what I would do if I become interested in what someone's selling on TikTok is just look it up on Amazon, because there is no way a product can be $2 and it's the same thing on Amazon. It's gotta be different. The ingredients have to be different, because if it's cheaper to make, it's cheaper to sell. Like, I mean, yeah, the deals are insane until you realize the products kind of suck. And I can't even lie, some of the affiliate marketing some people do, the stories they create for the ads are crazy. They're really good, I can't lie. It got to the point where I've been convinced, but I realized it was TikTok shop. You're not gonna get the craziest product of all time on there. Labubu's. Now, we all know the trend with Labubu's, so I'm just gonna skip right to the videos, because I found one video. There was a grown man crashing out, screaming at the top of his lungs over a Labubu.
Damn. What? What? Oh! Opa! Damn,
okay,
that's
look,
impressive.
I'm not trying to be the grown-ass man doing blank police, but still, though, there should be things that grown men are not doing, and this is one of them. And not to mention, there were some Labubus going for like $4 grand. There's still one going for $750 in the ginormous November. The fact that these things are on stock. I feel
bad for the staff to work at these places. I feel bad about like anybody working any customer service jobs, man. Like, that's annoying, man. People are so, like, they're so annoying toward these individuals that are earning a minimum wage. Like, leave them be, man.
Stock X is crazy. Way too much hype for this thing. It should be like 25, 30 bucks at most. And just like the Pokemon cards, you had people beefing over these things because they wanted to scalp them.
Oh. YouTube did not like this footage, guys.
All of that just for them to fall off already after 3 months. When I went to New York City this past week, I was going in all the shops.
As I understand it, it's still very popular in Asia, and it is from Asia.
And guess what I saw on the shelves? Fully stocked Labubus. They fell off within the matter of 3 months. This is the fastest trends come and go. Everyone is on the quarter zip hoodie now. The internet just moves so fast that, was this beef worth it? Absolutely not, bro. It wouldn't be worth it in the moment either for like $20 profit. But still though, like, yeah, I get it. I talk about trends all the time, but I don't understand why people get this crazy about trends.
Exactly. You're here every day.
Yeah, because I can't beat you. You're always here.
How many you get yesterday? Y'all cashed out down there.
This is a love story, man.
Y'all got like 3, 4, and then y'all went down there and cashed out.
No, I met my friend down there to show him how we fucked you over. How we fucked
you over.
That's all we did, man. We just fucked you over, man.
Nice.
This is a conversation about Labubus.
That's amazing.
Okay,
wow.
I didn't think scalping was this serious. I didn't know it was life or death.
Of course, it's like fighting. It's about each other's revenue, right? So they're They're fucking with each other's money.
To the point where people would feel quote unquote fucked over if they don't get enough. Like what people would do is just buy the whole vending machine and that would just leave everybody else with nothing who just casually wanted to collect them. That's kind of how the demand for these things went crazy. And now no one cares because the internet moves so fast and we're on to something else. This is literally Furbies 2.0. I don't know why it just reminds me of Furbies, but it does. They had a wave in like the 90s before I was born, but they also had a wave within the 2010s. But yeah, the fact that Labubu's already fell off is crazy. At least Furbies had a run, bro. Labubu's, they didn't. Also, fidget spinners had me in a chokehold. I wanted all of them. And I bought that shit for 50 hard-earned dollars.
I never had a fidget spinner.
All of my birthday money. Just from fidget spinner. They were peak for a while, but yet again, the trend just died, and I didn't care about it. Like, yeah, I still appreciate them from back then, but still. 50 bucks for 3 fidget spinners. And I got fooled into thinking that was a steal because one of them was gold. Like, I could have spent that on, like, a game or some shit. But no, I spent it on fidget spinners. At least fidget spinners did something other than Labubu's. It's kind of just a keychain. I could have bought those for like 25 bucks, but I bought 3 for 50 instead. Mind you, this was almost 10 years ago. So that's probably like 70 bucks today. Don't get me wrong, it was a good trend, but still though, it was not worth the price I paid. Now, speaking of not being worth the price, I don't know if this would even count as like a shopping trend, but you still bought them, so maybe. NFTs, or those Bored Apes going for like thousands of dollars. If you bought an NFT, all right, it was the worst purchase of your life. I don't know who the hell out there thought NFTs were gonna be big, but now you don't hear about them in 2025. I mean, this has at least got to contribute to modern day consumerism. Like, people really thought a picture of a Bored Ape would make them millionaires. And not only that, people would buy into the hype. I love
those arguments of the factor of like talking about real art and stuff like that and explaining how it's gonna go up in value, blah blah blah. Dude, this was I thought everybody hyping it up was like bullshitting. Like there was no way people actually thought this was worth it.
Point where they would glaze these things and say you should buy them too. Which in reality, they had no clue what the landscape was going to look like in a few years and what they actually were. But still, they thought it was a smart idea to buy them. My conspiracy with NFTs was pay celebrities to buy NFTs and make it their profile picture. And then that would convince people to make the purchase of a lifetime and make people become a ballin' millionaire in 2025. But now they've lost like 90% of their value in their original price. You just bought a JPEG image for the sake of having it on your phone. You don't even get it in real life. Like, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I think I gotta end the video. This was brain rot marketing before brain rot marketing. But if you want to hear more about brain rot marketing, watch this video all about it right here. Go watch it now, bro.
Oh my fucking god. No, I think there's like, people love buying shit. They just love wasting their money, and there's always a new trend. And I get it when kids are like hyped about something because it's like a popular thing and everybody talking about it and yada yada. But what I'm surprised about when I see grown adults in the bow like 30 or 40 going crazy about it, that's when I'm shocked personally. But man, people have been wasting their money on a lot of shit recently. Honestly, anybody here remember silly bands? No, what is that? Why? I don't know. Like, I feel like there's so many things that have been around. Like, I know that when I was a kid, I was collecting some bullshit as well. I think everybody collected some bullshit, but I'm like not doing it now. Like, I'm not doing it now at all. My god, what was silly man's? Beanie Babies, people murder each other, overdose. Oh my lord, yeah, people lose their mind over everything. Actually crazy. Actually crazy. Did you reset your followers, Sushin? Our silly band, I used to have lots of those. I don't think I had any of those. Rubber hand, that shape of animals, that went nuts when I was in elementary, middle school. I didn't have those. I think collecting things is fine and demands of folk buying it and hoping they can sell more later on. Yeah, I don't really mind that either. I just think that I just think it's weird whenever people lose their mind, like going crazy about things, like fighting each other and stuff like that, getting really aggressive over products they can see. I think that's when things goes a little bit too far. Now what the fuck is shit is Twitch doing? I was already following, now it tells me to follow again. What? That is weird. Maybe you just had to refresh the page, but I guess you just like refollow. I don't know. That is weird. Maybe Twitch is just fucking up. Oh my god. Oh my god, we gotta watch this. Natural beauty. Everybody is natural whenever they put a bunch of plastic in their face. Let's take a look at this.
How long can makeup hide your real face?
Beauty influencer Michaela.
Michaela?
Michaela.
Liar.
Lies. Hot lying yet again.
Scamming.
Snake.
Snake?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh my lord. We got PvP going on there.
If there was someone born to be the biggest beauty influencer, it must be Michaela Nigura. The quote, realist influencer on TikTok, Time 100 creator, Forbes top 50, over 20 million followers, brand deals after brand deals after brand deals, and even launched her own brand that made $1 million.
Oh my lord. I'm like, listen girl, you making that big dough. That's crazy. Brand make 1 million in 8 minutes. Oh my lord. Got a notification late today. Twitch told me that you were live for 5 minutes and we're told 35. Why is Twitch always screwing up with me? I don't know why it is. Like, we've had these issues for so many months now.
8 minutes. But somehow there is still a way to mess everything up.
Wow.
I make it very apparent in the
Hi,
caption
Kayla.
that it is an ad.
Hi Steph, how you doing? Welcome.
This literally just changed my life.
This is so obvious. Like, yeah, she used fake lashes.
She lied about donating makeup to a homeless shelter.
So when she opens her mouth, she lies.
Lied about so many things.
I know her for scamming and for being greedy.
Come on, Michaela. This is the best that you could do.
As your marketing bestie, who graduated top 1% UCLA Business Economics with a background in marketing, we're going to explore how even being the favorite can still fail you if you have a terrible brand.
She just lies.
Damn how it fell off.
To lie.
I don't use filters.
And she literally photoshopped Selena Gomez to look bigger.
And the
Wait, what? Wait, what? Why would you do that? She made herself skinnier and Selena Gomez fatter. What would a homeless shelter even do with makeup? I don't know. Look pretty. Maybe they'd get more money if they look pretty. I don't know. That wouldn't even make sense. Actually, is it offensive to point out all the people pointing out about the makeup we're wearing makeup? No.
Selena Gomez to look bigger.
And the even bigger mystery. Why did Michaela's beauty line still sell $1 million
I've never seen this individual in my life, so I'm learning something new.
8 minutes, despite the controversies around her personal brand? But more importantly, how you, yes you, can use these branding lessons to build a successful brand to help you down your career. Because by brand, I don't just mean slapping your name on a bottle.
Amazing.
None
Love
of that
it.
stringy, sticky.
Michaela Nagura's POV new lip product is making people's lips do this.
Incredibly sticky and patchy. And
Do they turning them into venom? That's nasty. What the hell?
I don't know who approved this.
Branding is how your future client, future boss, future boyfriend sees you.
How like this? You gotta stop with the Photoshop, girl. Girl, you gotta be a little bit more real. What the fuck is that? Your head is like not in the normal form even. I'm late. Welcome. Hi, Sakura. How you doing?
And yes, you have one. I'm creating the series to analyze pop culture icons from a marketing perspective. Before all the allegations of the realist influencer lying about her face, her voice,
we're opening
Opening the over 300 packages.
Are these like super far apart? Look at her. Look at her head. Look at her face. Right? Now, look at it now. I'm sorry. She has severely a lot more fat on her face here than she has here. Like, is this like super different part or is this a filter? She has hollow cheeks here. What?
Opening the over 300 packages I received in PI.
Oh, I can see it. Wait, look at it. Look at her. Look at it. I can see the flickering. I can see the flickering.
300 packages
you see
I
it?
received in PI.
Do you see it? I'm not going crazy. I'm not going, dude. I see the fucking flickering. It's like those Chinese live stream. I've seen this so many times now.
300 packages I received in PI.
Kim Kardashian. Well, I think something a lot of people don't realize about
I think there is a problem. So I don't give a shit if people use filters, right? I don't think you give a shit about people using filters. I hope you don't. I don't mind. I don't care. But when your whole branding is about like selling products that are about your looks, you know, like about makeup and stuff like that, and then you're using a filter and falsely representing the products you're advertising, I think that that's where the issue is at.
Influencer brands. Her lashes, her personality, her ads, her own wedding.
She cut a bunch of her friends from the wedding so she could invite a bunch of influencers to the wedding. And this entire thing is basically just a brand trip for Michaela.
We do need to look at what Michaela did well to build the almost perfect brand. Michaela 1.0 was a small-town Massachusetts girl who got laid off during the pandemic and started making beauty TikToks. She was one of the girls, showing makeup fails, honest reviews, insecurities, and relatable content.
I question if I'm good enough and if I'm even lovable, and it makes me feel like something's wrong with me.
The anti-influencer until the 3 cracks of branding, leading to a branding crisis. Branding trap number 1. Selling or selling out. Everybody wants to support the working class Massachusetts girl who has a big dream until selling became the entire persona. As one of the girls, anything Michaela recommended sold. Hence, all the brands were flooding in trying to get the Michaela effect. But Michaela, while hustling hard, sometimes forgot to try the product first or even put it on during the ad.
This looks like false. This is how? What?
It looks peculiar. It looks bizarre. The mascara's on, it looks cute, and then all of a sudden there's a swish, and all of a sudden there's some extra shit on the end.
Wow.
Yes.
Lashes too good to be real? Turns out they might not be real to start with.
Here's a side-by-side just to give you some context. And it's very obvious that Michaela used fake lashes to enhance this look.
This is so obvious. Like, yeah, she used fake lashes.
But wait, this was just the tip of the iceberg, because as it turns out, allegedly the entire brand of sweet, relatable Michaela was a mask, and the concealer was starting to crack. The more you dig, the more branding blemishes you find. It's like the feeling when you find out you've been charged $200 again because you auto-renewed your Air One membership. But wait,
oh my Lord.
Once you find one, there is more. The girl's girl got us in what to buy and what not to buy, right?
Full face of makeup I hate. It bleeds like a bitch. Your under eyes raccoon at the end of the day, which sucks.
Until they pay, of course.
For the lashes, I'm using the Pillow Talk push-up lashes in the beautiful Dream Pop color.
Amazing.
I love how it pairs with the eyeshadow.
But very likely you bought more than just one thing from the realist influencer who claimed to always show unfiltered real beauty.
I want to be open about it and talk about it because I see how it affects everyone. But in my videos, I don't use filters.
Come on, girl. Come on, mommy. It's so obvious. Come on, we can see the flickering. It's obvious. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Like, so you use the fake eyelashes when trying to, like, dude, she uses fake everything. She has fake stuff on her face, doesn't even use the products, and then also uses filters. Like, oh, I don't do this, man.
right?
In my videos, I don't use filters.
I don't use filters.
Michaela, we caught the filter glitch.
The neck filter has been seen slipping on and off of her girls.
A champion of realness, body positivity.
I mean, Selena taught me herself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
So Michaela Nogueira took that pressure that she feels for herself,
Yes.
and she literally photoshopped Selena Gomez.
She pushed
to look
it.
bigger.
Who's this?
But the
Who's
constant
this?
trying to be perfect thing, it's exhausting.
People from Avatar even like
Totally the same
like
in
talking
her
about
posts.
this.
And the professional third-party photo, totally a camera issue. Damn those $3,000 cameras. While selling you how great the makeup looks with the smoothest filter.
Gorgeous. Like, it looks unbelievably beautiful.
The issue
Is the whole point of this video telling me you lie and you fake it until you make it? Because this girl has just been faking everything and sold products as it was. So you're telling me people she has gone through tons of success by advertising products while using filters and fake like products on her face.
is not using a beauty filter. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look beautiful. It is using it as real skin, then claiming that's the result of the beauty products she wants you to buy. Imagine.
I honestly have seen this issue a lot on TikTok, is people advertising like skin creams or something like that, and they show how it changes your skin after a few days, but you can clearly see the filter. You can clearly see the difference in quality on the camera as well. Like, it's so obvious.
Buying the Photoshop result rather than the product. Or even worse, buying the wrong thing.
I want you to pay attention to the cap of this mascara. Notice how it's a black cap. All right, this is the supposed before and after. And as you can see, this is a pretty dramatic before and after, right? Turns out her eyelashes weren't the only thing that changed because...
Well, I've certainly wasted a lot of my money on inaccurate influences, or even worse, sneaky subscriptions that keep charging my card. There was no reason for me to be paying IMDb Pro monthly, but Rocket Money got you and me covered. This is a really useful all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. In fact, Rocket Money helped its customers save up to $740 a year through premium features and saved over
convenient. We have a scam next to a scam.
Cancel subscriptions. They identify all your subscription in one single list. From there, you can select the ones you don't want anymore, and Rocket Money may be able to help you cancel with just a few taps. But there's more. They help you lower bills, set budgets, and even automate saving, not spending on false beauty promises. And you can get
I'm paying a sub to help me cancel subs.
10 million members.
Amazing.
Rocket Money today at
Isn't it amazing, guys?
Zoe Unlimited, or scan the QR code on screen. You're welcome. But what is not free is the branding aftermath for Miss Michaela. With the scandals, everything is about to be seen in a new lens of greed and fakeness. Branding trap number 2. Out of touch.
First class service day.
Louis Vuitton is literally so good. Try being an influencer for a day, because the people who say it's easy are so far out of their minds.
Michaela's brand was
It
long
is.
gone.
It is super easy. It sounds like the most pleasant thing. You can wake up whenever you want. You spend like you spend a few minutes to do something and you're good to go.
From just a normal girl doing makeup in her room, after blowing up and becoming notably one of the top beauty influencers and taking on deals after deals after deals.
Wait, this girl got real big.
Allegedly not. Yet she refused to let go of the relatability.
How does she get the real life filter when she's out about it? No, she looked normal. But like every footage she posted, she adds the filter. You don't need to add a filter during recording. You can add the filter as a post-recording.
Card and played it a bit too long.
I just came home to 100 packages on my doorstep.
While her entire life became all PR trips, brand deals, and high glam sets.
Who did that?
I get it. Stay-at-home moms, if you work in the medical field, my mom's a teacher, like, I totally understand.
Yes, of course, she completely gets it.
First class service day.
Because the Michaela that we know overworks herself in opening tens to $100,000 worth of PR packages every day.
I've been so excited about this.
Shops
How
until
exhausting.
she passes out
I went luxury shopping and completely blacked out.
and gets flown up to everywhere. Try being an influencer for a day. Not saying it is not hard work. I very much respect her for posting so consistently, but she has lost touch with her own market.
People think I'm obsessed with this, but I'm okay with it. I am obsessed with it.
which are made up of young girls who originally felt seen by a girl who didn't exactly fit into the beauty standards and who cannot afford all the luxury products but wanted quality, who came from humble working class with such a genuine accent. Oh wait, that was also allegedly made up.
Oh,
I'm
really?
not letting you buy the Piat package.
Hi, it's OL Michaela here, and I am standing in the Fisher Student Center. I actually work here at the Information Center, so I'm sure you'll be seeing me around.
Yes, that is how she spoke before. The realest influencer of all time does not even use her real voice, which is fine. Paris Hilton played the dumb blonde airhead with her baby talk voice, and Michaela played a thick accent, average day Boston girl that she attributes to her upbringing and identifies it as, quote, a redneck accent from where I'm from, which works extremely well to build the relatability card until exposed. But
bro, are people
she
real
still is
anymore?
Just your average day girl who happens to allegedly use her wedding to get sponsorship. There was a full product gifting booth.
You need to at least acknowledge and appreciate the hustle, though. Like, this girl sees every opportunity as a marketing stunt and a way to make more money. She doesn't stop. Everything she does is to make as much money as possible. That is impressive.
For her wedding guests to experience a marriage
Even her wedding, man.
lip kit duo that allegedly sold out in 18 minutes. Genius marketing, genius branding, by the way. Every influencer in attendance, like Mr. James Charles, posted a get ready with me video on TikTok before heading to the wedding, which seemed as if they were contracted to do a brand deal or something. And TikTokers were saying how it looked more like a sponsored influencer event instead of an intimate celebration of love.
Trying out Michaela's lip kit at the wedding, I was so excited. She had a whole station with the lip kits, which was amazing. After dinner, I obviously needed to touch up my lips, so this was perfect, and the packaging is so cute.
But no, according to Business Insiders, Michaela Nogueira says her wedding wasn't sponsored and that she obviously had an accent on her big day, which is believable given that this dedicated post reads like an ad. Quote, my @of cosmetics marriage material lip duo is officially live on elfcosmetics.com! Exclamation mark. Click the link on my story to check it out. It is super limited edition, so once it's gone, it's gone. Happy wedding weekend. No FTC disclosure, by the way. You know what? Fair. Could have been a gift, or she paid Elf to make this limited wedding day edition. But why purposely hide the partnership label behind the filter that was said to never be used? Only if you download the video can you see that it is a paid ad.
If you're mad at the way I react to shit, just stay mad.
This is your relatable BFF who clearly has your best interests at heart, who fell for branding trap number 3. Overexposure.
I am not okay. I'm going to Korea. Like, what?
She's going to Korea?
To Korea. I am not okay.
The real talk energy, her crying on camera moments all used to feel spontaneous. Now, they feel performed. A salesy self-victimization, which could have been very much genuine and heartfelt. But the whole brand perception has already soured, and she hasn't given enough time for people to breathe or be curious first. Oversupply with low demand. Because all the brand deals kept coming, gotta keep posting. Talking about depression in one clip, then immediately promoting a $45 foundation creates a tonal whiplash. Which brings me to the launch of her own brand that was doomed to fail.
Why would you buy makeup from someone who has proven that they will lie in order to sell a makeup product?
But didn't. And we will talk about why. But right when there was a big fatigue on another Michaela beauty video,
I feel like most people just don't trust Michaela because she just lies to lie.
Not knowing if it was sponsored or not, not knowing if she photoshopped the result or not, not knowing if she even used the product or not. Guess what girl decides to do? Post a video hinting she's about to confess a big secret she's been keeping all years. Could it be the accent was not real? The lashes were false?
No, it's a new product. She worked on it.
How y'all doing?
No. The big secret is she is launching a brand and
no way
to buy.
Someone is about to be
guys.
the very first person
could you predict that
to get their hands on point of view.
But even though as much as people love to hate on it, since the personal brand of Michaela was not the most likable at the moment, something miraculous happened. It sold and sold out.
Look at this girl, man. She's just making bank.
But is sitting in a quiet place listening to my show. You are obsessed and sick.
Why? Take notes. This is such a good case study. Michaela actually has the opposite issue of a halo effect. In a sense, her personal brand is a net negative liability to POV beauty, but here's why it crushed. First, trust in product is not equal to trust in person. The consumer is disillusioned with influencers, but they are buying the results. I kid you not, while I was writing this, I realized my freaking lip gloss is from POV. I had no idea it was her brand. I got it as a gift and used it because it was a good product. Hence, the lesson here is always product first, market second. Second success factor, strong product market fit. Her brand sells affordable glam and it taps into the exact segment she built her following on. Girls who want luxury results without luxury prices. Third, high brand recall. Whether you love or hate Michaela, she is memorable. In beauty and beyond, controversy can function as free marketing.
The more people she can make mad, the more views she gets, the more money she makes.
She has 15.7 million followers. That is insane.
Retail
She
credibility.
is farming.
This is huge. Partnerships and distribution at Ulta and other major retailers signal legitimacy beyond her persona. It moved beyond a personality-based brand. And this is a strategy of a VC-backed brand, and I commend their team for taking this above all the negative backlashes. At the end of the day, this brand launch could actually be the redemption for Michaela, who began her influence in giving so much value and sharing good products, beauty tips, and emotional value in her relatability. And now, giving value through another form, through good product formulas that market themselves. I don't know Michaela personally, so I can't speak on behalf of her character, but from a branding angle, as long as she continues to show up honestly, whether relatable or not, the value add from POV could actually bring trust back to her brand. But will she ever be the same underdog Boston girl everyone adored? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something here, follow the pod, give it a 5-star review, free email list, resources, all links are below. This is your marketing bestie, Zoe Unlimited. Episodes are available on all podcast networks, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And if you like this episode, I know you'll love these other two I made just for you.
I think it is impressive how this girl can fake it that hard and still put a, like, just be making bank like crazy. People still flourish over her products and anything that she advertises. It is impressive also, and I gotta give her props. The amount of situations how she can just put in a sponsor and branding and everything. Now that is impressive. This girl goes crazy. Fake it until we make it a classic, and she has made it and it doesn't end. Now her fakeness is the product. It is actually impressive. My God. My God. Holy, that is nuts. That is actually nuts. Wow. Jesus Christ. Like, who's even real nowadays on, like, on TikTok, on the internet? Ruthless business lady? She is. We got some of those. They just trying to make it. They just keep on making money. That's their whole goal. That's what all they do. I'll put this on watch later. Actually pretty impressive. Did you do shoes video? Which one? The political one? The last one? No, I've not watched it. I don't really care about politics that much. Man, oh man. I'm running out of coffee. Sup? Not much. How you doing, man? Bum. Let's see. I haven't seen this channel before. It was interesting. What is this? Let's take a look at this. The most out of touch event ever. What is this? Tone deaf?
Oh my god, I just got an invite to a ball. Do you want to be my +1?
Yes!
You've been cordially invited to Brain Tumor Ball.
What?
What is this? Is this a fundraiser or a Halloween? What are we dressing up as brain tumors? You can't make it? I didn't even tell you what day it was. What are you, booked and busy?
Yeah, this one's booked and busy. What? You of all people. You busy. Oh, this one's got things to do.
These charity events, man.
Whatever. You can't make it to the brain tumor ball. Okay, there's always
Brain
dementia
tumor
disco.
ball. Dementia disco. Now I'd fuck with that. Dementia disco.
The stroke soiree on Sunday.
What?
How about schizophrenia salsa night? No? Okay, how about breast cancer party?
Yes! Love it. Love that.
Yeah, they all sound diabolical. But one of them is very real. Breast cancer party. Breast cancer party. No, not like symbolically. Not like the pink ribbon gala. No, it's literally translated breast cancer party. It wasn't thrown by some kind of like chaotic frat house.
I'm down for this.
It was hosted by W Korea, a high fashion magazine.
Wait, what? They're called W Korea? They're actually called just W Korea. What the fuck kind of W Korea?
W Korea. A high fashion magazine that thought it would be a magnificent idea to invite the country's biggest celebrities, from K-pop idols to drama stars, to what they called a breast cancer party.
Let's celebrate
Dear
it.
attendee, you have been cordially invited to breast cancer
Yeah, I
party.
miss MSN,
Kind
man.
regards. This wasn't the first gala or event they hosted. No, W Korea Magazine's Love Your W event happens every year for the last 2 decades. It's one of the bigger events on Seoul's social calendar.
Why are there so many
Happens every
bald guys
October,
there?
Which coincides with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So the flashing lights, the designer dresses, the super sponsors, and the solemn speeches were woven together under one pretext: supporting a noble cause. All good for the past 20 years, but this time was bad. So bad, the second you click on the W Korea official website, you get slapped with an apology letter right across the face. The Korean public, the internet as well, always sensitive to the symbolism of health campaigns.
Wait, hold up. Gross, why would you display a picture of sexualizing women for a breast cancer awareness event? You just have an ass straight up like that? What is happening? Wait, what is happening here? What is this? What is going on?
Health campaigns did not forgive the frivolity. Some guests were shit-faced, passing out tips. Everyone had to hold a glass of alcohol, which, by the way, is one of the modifiable risk factors for breast cancer.
You know what? I think that alcohol should probably not be at a breast cancer awareness party. Maybe it's not even awareness. I don't know, like, what's going on here, but I feel like it's giving off the wrong message.
TikTok challenges and J Park performing "Shake Your Ass for Me" on stage. Awareness speeches playing over lingerie.
Now this
ads,
says
of
breast
course,
cancer.
Luxury sponsors everywhere.
Of course.
That's the goal, though, of a gala, right? You know, glam, shine, luxury, donations.
I think this is just a place where rich people can donate to charity. That's it. Like, I feel like galas and events like this are very common. I assume they're very common. Maybe I'm not rich enough for this shit, but I think there's a lot of these events going on, and they're just like celebrations and parties and a lot of food for being an invitation for rich people to start spending their money on charity so they can have a tax write-off. Crazy as fuck, like crazy Japanese advertising energy kind of, in my opinion. Yeah, this is the most obvious front of money laundry. It is.
Donations. No? No donations? Oh, okay. So no funds for the fundraiser? Okay. Welcome to W Korea's Love Your W Gala, where awareness met alcohol got drunk on itself. Love Your W, but W doesn't stand for women, it stands for whiskey. Alright, so let's see what this breast cancer party actually looked like, because I swear if I describe it to you, you'll think I'm
oh wait, what a free pack of cigarette would be lung cancer awareness party. What if they had actually just they displayed and gave like cigars to everybody? Now that would definitely be a good thing to present on that kind of awareness day.
Exaggerated. Figures of all genres and generations paraded before photographers on the carpet. Yuna and Yeji from ITZY, Kazuha and Shaiwan, Monsta X, Girls' Generation, Big Bang, BTS, that's the name.
Oh my lord.
Almost everybody knows. Jake and Songhoon as well. From,
oh my god.
ENHYPEN. Yeah, J Park, Jungsomi, aespa. You know, many names that any K-pop fan would recognize right away. Epic event. Everything was perfect, except for the small tiny detail, a little. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but no one seemed to remember why they were there. I'm not going to talk about any of the guests for now. Netizens online are already tearing them apart. It's shifting the focus from what I think really matters. The organizers. Their event, Love Your W, is an awareness event, not just a fundraiser. Definitely not a frat party. You're supposed to be educating, you're raising awareness, and you're raising funds with champagne trays, neon lights, idols dancing, J Park singing, Dyson, guests holding glasses.
Yes. Love
drinks,
that.
Drinks. Yeah, this is a cancer awareness event. Where
did it say
alcohol
woman
is
on
the
the
main
glass?
accessory, TikTok the principal activity, and the cause lost in translation. Somewhere between a Gucci logo and a Moet bottle. Wait, there's nothing here that's pink.
As a breast cancer survivor and a longtime K-pop fan, there's so many things that were crossing my mind as I saw the videos of the W Korea breast cancer awareness event. Nowhere in this event was there any form of pink.
No. Because pink would be symbolism to the breast cancer awareness. Why would we do that? No, that is not what the sponsors want. Let's start with the champagne, because apparently breast cancer prevention pairs great with sparkling wine. According to who? Not who.
Wow.
Who? The World Health Organization. That flat out called alcohol one of the biggest risk factors for breast cancer. Ooh, so picture this. You walk into an event meant to raise awareness for breast cancer. Before you even get your name tag, they hand you a glass of champagne. Not water, not juice, not even symbolic pink lemonade. Now, champagne. Moet Champagne, the sponsor of the event. You can't make this shit up. Okay? This alcohol brand has sponsored their breast cancer prevention awareness event.
No way.
As tagged on their Instagram stories.
Wow.
Profusely. Sponsors are very important to W Korea.
Of course.
More important than anything. More important than cognitive dissonance. In fact, in the same event last year, actress Park Bo-young was supposed to appear in the full body sort of photo shoot that they traditionally have with all the sponsors. But the sponsoring brand stockings they provided were not in her size, and so she couldn't put them on. W Korea, following very strict policy about dressing their guests in completely sponsored outfits, banned her from appearing in those full body photo shoots that she was scheduled for. Now, instead, they had to crop her pictures. Boo-hoo, who cares,
wow.
Right? Not a big deal. Right, yeah.
Bro, what a shit show this was. Was there anything good about this event? Like, did they at least get, like, did these people at least donate a lot of money, or did they just come to drink?
It tells you something. It tells you about the way W Korea thinks. You're more of a commodity than a human being. Park Bo-young, or just a mannequin for my sponsor. Sponsor comes first! Sponsor comes first. Of course. For the charity, right?
Yes.
Charity. It's a charity.
For the charity. It's not for the W Korea.
Back to the champagne. Apparently, having that drink in their hand was not optional. Multiple guests said that Steph had instructed them to, quote, don't ever be without a glass. Like, Imagine alcohol being compulsory at a cancer prevention charity event. They thought it was synonymous with class. So blinded by image, didn't see what it could mean. It's like throwing a fundraiser for lung cancer and Marlboro is your primary sponsor. Everyone must puff a Marlboro cig in this event.
Everybody gotta walk around with a cigar in their hand. If you don't have a cigar, you're banned. Get out of there.
You hear me? They're the sponsors. I don't care this about lung cancer. They're the sponsors. They're gonna be very upset. They don't see you smoking tar into your lungs. Do you understand me? Do not upset my sponsors. Take this cigarette, but it's a lung cancer. Shut up and puff. So they obligated people to hold these champagne glasses. Of course, people got tipsy. Some guests went stumbling through the lobby, which again, not the vibe you want for your cancer awareness gala. Some of the stars, perhaps aware of the absurdity, chose to toast with water. The boys of Stray Kids and Jessie, the internet discreetly applauded them for that. Either way, W Korea had managed to turn what was meant to be a health event into what looked like a VIP club after party. That was just the drinks. Because when the stage lights lit up, it got even worse. On the main stage, attendees were preparing for the highlight of the night. Exclusive musical performances that, in theory, were meant to inspire hope and solidarity with those affected by breast cancer. Reality would take an even wilder, more out of touch turn than the champagne. Jay Park's a performer.
Amazing.
He's got hits, he's got stages, he's got a full catalog of songs that do exactly what they're meant to do. Get a crowd hyped. Right? Music for the club. So when you give him a mic and a stage, well, he's gonna do what he does best. You know, he's gonna perform the songs that made him Jay Park. The problem is where he was performing them. This was not a club, it was not a summer festival, it was not a fashion after party. This was a breast cancer.
Bro, how do you not realize where you're at? How can you be there swinging your crotch around, sticking your tongue out and smashing the microphone in a gala regarding breast cancer? That is amazing.
Awareness gala. And the song, it was Mommy.
Mommy.
Which means body.
Shake that ass for me.
Nothing raises awareness like shaking your ass for a tune. The song lyrics were like, I'd like to meet your twins. Yeah, the ones on your chest.
Wow.
I'm curious about the taste of those peaches and melons.
His whole song is about how he want to suck on tits on a breast cancer awareness. God, that is not you can't even make this shit up, man. This is amazing. Wow.
All natural. This might have been the one time, by the way, breasts were mentioned in this event.
Well, you have it that at least. This is the only time somebody talked about breasts, women's breasts in this event. The guy standing up, shaking his crotch and sticking out his tongue like he's licking on something while singing about sucking on tits. What priorities that? Yeah, true.
In this breast cancer awareness. You're done. You're done. But imagine being a woman or a person. I say woman because women are disproportionately more affected by breast cancer. Someone in the audience, someone watching the event, okay, that had gone through breast cancer, someone who had to potentially get their breast removed due to the complications of the disease, the tumor, someone who'd gone through chemo. Imagine that person hearing this. I'd like to meet your twins, yeah, the ones on your chest. Twins. Of all the dirty songs you could have picked, even. For guts, come on! Curious about the taste of these peaches and all natural.
Ooh.
A lot of cancer patients opt for cosmetic surgery to bring back the breast they lost. You can't be for real. It's not just awkward, it's out of touch in a way that makes you wince. This isn't about Jay Park being problematic. No, he performed his music the same way he always does. Responsibility falls on the organizers, the W Korea team that listened to these lyrics and thought,
I still can't believe their name is W Korea. I lose it every time he says it.
One's the perfect fit. You know,
wow.
for tonight, a night meant to honor people
What a
fighting
night.
breast cancer. It's not Jay Park's fault that his song wasn't written for cancer patients. It's W Korea's fault that thought it was an appropriate fit in the first place. That stage was diabolical. Doesn't stop there. Halfway through the show, on the giant screen behind the stage were images alluding to the fight against cancer. The stories of breast cancer patients should have been projected. We instead see W Korea's past campaign videos accompanied by clips of models in sexy underwear.
Of course. Who made this shit,
Y'all
man?
missed the plot. One of them shows a woman in lace lingerie. People didn't like it. They thought it was tasteless. Somebody said this isn't a solidarity campaign. It's a vanity show. It's not about the awareness anymore. It was about putting on a show. No matter how tone deaf that show turned out to be. The irony does not stop there. Sit down, please. You're gonna need to sit down. While the crowd was twerking for awareness, the donations were basically
Yeah, I know. I just think it's funny.
non-existent. Which
The
brings us to
the
the next
W
part of the
just
story
made is
that's
just funny.
uglier.
Disappearing
Let's talk
donations?
about-
No, don't tell me the money went away. Don't tell me the donation just vanished. Don't tell me the organizers had sponsors. They left with the sponsor money and the donation just vanished. No, there's no way.
The money, or lack of. W Korea said we had donated 1.1 billion Korean won over the last 20 years. That is roughly $775,000.
20 years.
Okay, they're very proud to have contributed $35,000 a year for the last 20 years. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. But with all the sponsors, the outfits,
They're kind of cheap. Like, you have money. At least it's something. Sure, that's nice. It's something, you know, it is something, but it's not really that much for how big you are.
the math is not mathing. 1.1 billion. That statement was on their website. Now it's gone, quickly removed when Representative Lee Soo-jin from the National Assembly officially requested donation data from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. Guess what she found? Between 2007 and 2024, W Korea's direct donations to the Korea Breast Health Foundation totaled 315 million won. It's about $220,000.
They lied about it? Of course they did. What didn't they do? Oh my god, of course they did. Wow.
You said $700,000? $220,000 in 20 years. Some years there weren't even any donations at all. 2008, 2009, 2017 through 2023, zero. Nothing. Not even a symbolic donation. So that's an average of $15,000 a year if you're not counting the gap years. If you are, the past 20 years, that's $11,000
Wow.
a year. That's less than what you pay in your fiscal contributions every year. That's their fundraiser. My school bake sale used to raise more money than that every year. $10,000 is, let's be honest, less than their individual outfits at the event. One Hermes clutch at the entrance table. Bam, $10,000. All that fun, the party, the drinks, the music, put all that aside. Who cares, really? I don't care. They're raising for charity, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. That's what's nuts. But W Korea insisted that Representative Lee is misunderstanding. When adding the omitted corporate and individual donations, as well as the 3 years of contributions to the Population Health and Welfare Association, the total cumulative amount is 960 million, blah, blah, blah. They said the total amounts to 1.1 billion. They insist. Those records that she saw didn't include their sponsors, who also donated. It was just direct W Korea donation. So with their direct contributions and their sponsors included, it came to about $100,000 for this year. Cool. Let's compare that to another gala. Huge stars, massive brands. Let's compare this to the Met Gala. Obviously, the Met Gala is a lot bigger. But how much bigger? In 2025, the Met Gala raised $31 million in that year alone. Not that noble of a cause in comparison, really. It was for the Museum of Art's Costume Institute. $31 million.
For costumes.
$100,000. Again, I know the Met Gala is a lot bigger, but Love Your W wasn't your local county's harvest festival. Love Your W was also a big event. All that glam.
They had a lot of celebrities there. There's a lot of money. There are a lot of rich people, a lot of eyes around the world. It's not a Met Gala, but like it's still a big one, right?
Celebrities, those outfits, those massive
Yeah.
brands, all of this. And they raised enough to maybe cover the treatment for 3 cancer patients if the treatment costs were on the higher end. Treatment costs in Korea go from $7,000 to $30,000.
That is a lot of money.
More expensive treatments are the ones that would need more financial help. Still
I
great
know,
you've
Lee.
raised
Kill, I'm not
and are
that big into
helping
cars. I don't know.
At the very least, 3 cancer patients. The potential in an event like this just feels like it should be a lot bigger, you know, of an impact. I don't know. Is their goal really to help cancer patients and cover their treatment expenses? Is that what their goal really is? Or is there something else and we're just donating enough for a certain reason? It gets even worse. The company's CEO, also the magazine's editor-in-chief, sits on the board of Korea Breast Health Foundation.
Bro, this is crazy. This is just so
the same
disappointing.
foundation that receives the donations from her company, right? So the person writing the checks is also the person approving the checks.
I think somebody got investigated. I don't think they're spending any money on breast cancer. I'll be honest. I don't think that money is going anywhere near breast cancer.
We call that vertical integration for tax write-offs. So not only did their event really exaggerate the impact of their numbers, it basically turned a charity into
I'm very interested in breast and health.
Now,
yeah,
I
I
know,
bet.
I'm not their accountant, but arguably they raised millions in sponsorships and glam and product placement. All these incredibly famous faces. Dyson, the Moet champagne, designer brands left, right, and center. Only a fraction of that ever made it to the patients. They raised less than what a couple of them outfits combined would cost. That should piss people off. Okay? Y'all can drink, get party, do what you want, but like, at the very least, okay, let the donations that you're pretending, like y'all, if you wanted to have a party, just call it a party. Y'all don't need to like hide behind it. Charity, it's a charity. Can we have fun? No, that's not necessary, y'all. If you want to have fun, have fun. Don't call it
I think there's nothing wrong with a bunch of rich snobs or celebrities getting together and getting pissed drunk and celebrating to try and put awareness onto a charity and have those individuals each donate toward that charity. Now, the question is, do they donate at all? Like, the point is to get them to donate, right? I don't think that's the problem. But the issue is when nothing in this whole event has to do with anything about the cause. There's nothing that, beside that one song about sucking on tits. That's the only thing that's talking about breasts. Everything else has nothing to do with it, and everything showed and used are causes of the issue instead. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, what the hell, man? They didn't even get enough. They didn't barely got any money for this event. So these celebrities and rich people only showed up. They only showed up.
Charity when it's not. It looks like a tax write-off to me, and that's what should piss people off. Not what she was wearing. Did you see what he was wearing? You got people losing their minds over somebody's underwear strap show. That said, yes, attendees have a social responsibility going to a charity fundraiser. No, this was a party masked as a charity event. Only a handful of artists really tried to restore some dignity to this event. The girls of Addit took a moment to talk about the importance of health and early detection. Thank God some Ray from IV or IVE, don't know how to pronounce it, also an exception. She's later in a live podcast, she shared how she tried to get educated before the event on breast cancer.
인식이 중요한 것 같아요. 그래서 저도 옛날에 아팠던 적이 있으니까 다른 아픔이었지만 좀 고통이고 그래서 좀 더 인식이 좋아졌으면 생각했어요. 공부해왔거든요. 어제 가니까.
You know, having gone through complications herself, health complications in the past. Some left early, didn't feel like it was appropriate. That's reasonable and it's socially responsible. Some toasted with water, such as members of Stray Kids, as to not be considered promoting a potential cause to breast cancer at a breast cancer event. But lots of the rage online is at the attendees. And I get that. You got people who are really big fans of these celebrities, and seeing them partake in an event so negatively perceived, like, it pisses someone off, especially considering Korean society. Korean society is harsh, judgmental, and collectivist in nature, which means the Koreans have a constant pressure to be considerate. It's a society where group harmony is prioritized, which makes the whole thing being that out of touch a little weirder. But the real direction of our questions should be at the hosts, the raisers, that's fundraisers without funds. W Korea. Look at all this. After days of silence, completely wiping out all possible traces of their event on their Instagram, deleting videos, locking comments, W Korea finally broke the silence. They posted a public corporate apology on October 19th, World Breast Cancer Day.
We deeply apologize for failing to consider the perspectives of breast cancer patients and their families in our breast cancer party. We take this feedback very seriously, and we will reflect deeply.
You feel that? The corporate empathy? Oh,
I feel it.
Cold. At the end of the day, the point isn't that W Korea threw a party. No, it's how they threw it. Because fun and awareness are not enemies. Okay, they're not incompatible. Nobody's saying that people at a charity gala should sit in silence and cry into their soup and refuse to smile. No, you can celebrate, you can laugh, you can dance, hell, you can even have a drink.
Yeah.
The problem starts when the fun becomes the focus and the cause becomes the prop.
Yeah.
When a night that's supposed to raise awareness, honor survivors, ends up solely promoting luxury brands. When champagne...
It comes off so bad. It just comes off really bad. I mean, you could just have a few moments and some representations and pictures and information around and like a time to talk about it itself and explain situation and stuff like that. And it would have done great and people can party and dance and you can show the branding and stuff like that. But you got to at least show the cause you're trying to fight for, right?
Is mandatory at an event about breast cancer because they're the sponsor.
Of course.
When the only time the word breast got mentioned was in a dirty song lyric. Then it stops being about awareness. It becomes aesthetic awareness. How good charity looks on a company.
W Korea, you guys are so charitable.
W.
Every year you have this party for breast cancer, you guys are too good.
Listen, just because it was October, you felt obligated? Throw a Halloween party instead.
Yes.
Since you're not donating much anyway. Just kidding. I mean, a little is good still, right? It's just the scale, it just feels off. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, having fun at a charity gala is not wrong, but that fun has to live in harmony with the message, not overshadow it. It's a matter of balance and sensitivity. Right. People can laugh, dance, and drink as long as the purpose stays clear and, most importantly, the money transparent. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this? I'm a little bit weirded out about the money thing because the event had a purpose. It's their yearly charity event. It's their yearly awareness fundraiser. So you're seeing all these people, all these brands, but you're not seeing much of the money. Is everybody just not paying anything? Is that what it is? Are the sponsors...
like what this is the case, this is what I'm wondering, like, aren't the point of these galas to invite a bunch of celebrities and rich people so that they have an interest to donate? But I can understand why nobody donated because they didn't even talk about the cause. There's like no discussion about it. There was no like auction. There was nothing going on at all. So there was no reason for him. There was no opportunity maybe perhaps for them to donate. I don't know. But like, I thought the point to bring and have this party is to interest them to donate. Eat the rich, they're doing this for a tax cut and a tax credit. I think they're doing this to have a party and a tax cut.
Not paying. What are they doing? That's wild, you know? Transparency. That's what will fix this. Obviously, the behavior was weird, right? From a couple of the people that were there. But that money thing dwarves everything else, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? Share them down in the comments below, guys. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go. We have the Dementia Disco thing. Are you going like this?
I do want to go to the Schizo one. Like, I do want to go to the Schizo party, and Dementia Disco sounds kind of cool.
You're supposed to be dressed for Dementia Disco.
How am I dressed? How do you dress for Dementia Disco? My lord. It truly is, though. If they had like a lung cancer awareness party and they just had Marlboro as a or like a cigar brand as a sponsor, it truly is basically the same thing, because alcohol, in the end of the day, I said in the video, is one of the biggest reasons for breast cancer for many people. It is a big cause. So you sitting there having champagne and alcohol as a thing that everybody has to show in front of everybody. Everybody has to have a glass, and you got to shove that face, like that branding, everywhere on an event. Now that gives the wrong image. This was just a tragic disaster. This looks bad. You forget to, so you just go in naked. I don't know. I loved it when they tell other people to donate their money and then write it off at their own taxes. Now that is amazing, isn't it? Like Frank West from Dead Rising. Yeah, all supermarket chains do this shit. Truly. You know us. Yeah, dude. Oh, we got to talk about some holy shit, but this is crazy. My lord. You know what's nuts? Y'all know there was Black Friday yesterday. I looked at sales online, right? Did you guess what I found out? Because I went on those websites that show price history, right? And that shit was more expensive now with this 60% or 40% sale than it was a month ago. Like, I was looking at different products and all of them have shot up in price just this month, just to be prepared for Black Friday. Like, I'm impressed that these things are even allowed, that people can fake it this hard. Oh my god. Wait, when did I get the show bookmarks? Let me hide that. A month ago? Oh yeah, I heard RAM prices went up. I think that's for a different reason though. I think that like RAM and stuff, that's a different case. Gotta go. Enjoy your stream. I appreciate it. Have a good day, Chari. Have a good day. Thank you for coming by. Prices are going up everywhere where I live too. Shut up like much. Black Friday means to fuck all with the prices. Yeah. Like, they're just increasing the prices to prepare for sale, and then they reduce it back. So, like, it isn't even a sale. It pretends to be a sale, but there isn't really a sale there. Right, Wicked had a Absolute Vodka promotion. That's crazy. Is already 1,000 euro and it will double the next year if factories don't change. What? Really? What the hell is happening? I got 32 gigabyte. I'm fine. I don't need more. But that is nuts that it's like going up that much in price. RAM is the new gold. Well, invest in RAM. Buy RAM. I tested the weirdest Craigslist ad. Guys, what the fuck is this? Furry girlfriend 67 67. What the fuck? Is this real? What the is this this has to be like some kind of I hope that's a hi, man. There's no What am I looking at? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. What the fuck? Where is that? Craigslist. You want to get a furry girlfriend? 6'7", bro. 6'7". I was just about to take a drink and I had to put it down. We listen and we don't judge. I'll save that one. Super gay. All for now, all for the experience, Addy. Of course. I mean, at least you have a story to tell, right? That certainly is an experience to be had. Man. Wait, I need to show you guys this. Fuck it, it's time. I gotta show you this. Wait. This shit is hella funny. One sec. One sec. Are y'all ready to see the future? Are you ready to see the future of the man? This is the future men are gonna live with. Now, imagine yourself, you can use virtual reality to have a horrible marriage. It's actually so beautiful. Look at this. Look at this shit.
Did we pack another jacket?
I didn't. I packed 3. Yours, mine, and his.
I'm pretty sure there is another one in here.
I don't think so. Let's go. The snow's melting.
I don't want to get out there, and it starts snowing again.
It is not gonna start snowing out again, honey.
How do you know?
Because I can tell. I'm not exactly...
There might be a snowstorm behind the mountains.
There is no snowstorm coming. The snow is melting.
Okay, but did you check the weather?
What the fuck? All right, we got this. Let's go enjoy the snow while we have it. It's melting.
Dad, I found gold.
You're fine. What?
I found gold.
Good for you, son. Why is it? Why did you get him a pink jacket?
And what color is his jacket supposed to be?
A black jacket.
Oh, like in support of Black Lives Matter?
A blue jacket.
Oh, like to show we have liberal values?
A red jacket.
Pink is the closest they had.
Bro. Dude, can you imagine you're using virtual reality to have... Shut the hell up. So can you imagine you're using virtual reality to have a horrible marriage? Like, I bet there are some guys there that are like thinking to themselves about either some relationship they had or their like wife right now, how the discussions are going. Look at this.
All right, my family working as a team to make dinner. This is what I like to see, you guys. Honey, can you get off your phone for 1 minute? Can you tell your daughter to get off the phone for 1 minute?
She's texting her boyfriend.
And you don't need to talk to your boyfriend at all times. Does she really need to be talking to him instead
Just
of
let her talk
helping
to
her
him.
family make dinner?
Can I go play Roblox?
What's that?
Can I play Roblox?
No, you can't go play Roblox, man. Wash up the pot. Help me wash the cabbage. We're having cabbage and onions tonight, dude.
Oh my God.
Cabbage and onions?
Yes, cabbage and onions.
I'm gonna jump in the shower.
You guys, we are making dinner tonight as a family. Okay?
You can't chop up cabbage and onions yourself?
I could make the cabbage and onions all by myself. It'd be kind of nice if I could have some help from my family.
I'm going to just take a quick shower.
Fine. All right. Well, I'll make the cabbage and onions all by myself then. All right? And I'll let you know when it's ready.
Bro, domestic abuse DLC?
Onions?
You know what I love the most is this part.
Cabbage and onions.
I'm gonna jump in the shower.
You guys, we are making dinner tonight as a family.
As a family. And you look at that. Making dinner tonight as a family. You see the family? God, I love this. Oh my God. Check this out. Look at this. It get worse. It gets worse. What if you want to sex your wife?
Oh, your hair is so sexy.
You like my hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna nibble on your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you eat it?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat your hair.
Yeah.
I'm scared. There are ghosts out here.
No, there's not.
What's wrong, honey?
I'm scared. I saw a ghost out here.
There's no such thing as ghosts. Go play Roblox. What has gotten into him?
He is just scared.
How are we gonna get busy if he's popping his head in here with ghost talk?
We shouldn't have let him watch Frankenstein.
What's wrong with her
That
mouth?
movie wasn't even scary.
Well, to him it was.
It didn't even look like Frankenstein.
You don't think so?
No, that guy was a pale white. I don't know what that was. It wasn't Frankenstein. Frankenstein is green with like bolts in his neck.
I saw another ghost.
Fuck. Go play Roadblocks. There's no ghosts out there.
It's called Roblox, Dad, not Roadblocks.
Dude, he got it there. he got him there. Man, the future is amazing. The future is beautiful. Wow.
Got it.
Oh my god, bro. I saw it this morning. I lost my shit. That is so stupid. Oh my god, VR chat PoE? This is worse than VR chat, man. Cthulhu would not approve of this? Man, what a world we're getting into. Sad as fuck, yeah. I think that I thought that shit was funny, man. I was promised Blade Runner. What I got is Mark Zuckerberg Metaverse. So yeah. Anyone have a cyanide pill? Freaking hell, man. The amount of weird shit we're seeing nowadays, dude. The world is going into a special place. Just go to Canada, it's free. Why food sucks now? I don't think food sucks. I like food. Food's good. 600 LB Lifestar who catfished 3,000 men online. Damn. That's crazy. The alpha male epidemic is out of control. Yeah. What the fuck? What about those brain scans? Let's see. College Hoover is killing cinema. Oh shit. The madness of Chris Chan. I would never, dude. Oh god. They gotta let Chris Chan rest. He's like, she's been gone, or he's been, what? They have been gone for a long time on a run on this internet. The blasting trend has ruined his life. No shit. Kicking the dead horse. Yeah, they gotta let him rest. Gotta really let him rest. I saw this video. I have never seen this channel before. This looks a little bit like an interesting topic. I hope the video isn't boring. Let's check it out. How the 1% bankrupts himself at a record rate. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Well, let's check it out.
Late last month, a report published by Goldman Sachs caused a bit of a firestorm in the personal finance community when it found that 40% of people earning more than $500,000 a year were still living paycheck to paycheck. What was even more shocking is that from the same group of high-income earners, less than a third of them reported that they were consistently able to make contributions to long-term financial goals like paying down debt or saving for retirement. Now, I know it might be hard to feel too bad about the financial struggles of people earning 10 times the median income. And the general response to this report online was, not too sympathetic.
No way. I couldn't call me shocked. Like, no way everybody didn't give a shit. Like, the thing is that if they are struggling with money, how do these people feel that are earning like 10 times less?
But it does reveal a lot about the way our economy has changed since this report was first published just 10 years ago. Now, history is of course filled with endless stories about people who have blown through enormous fortunes, but these have been rare exceptions to the rule. And these stories have mostly come from athletes, celebrities, and lottery winners. People who make a lot of money in a short period of time and then get them—
I mean, are they struggling or are they dumb with the money? I think what they're doing is they're probably just dumb with the money, or they have like debt and they just still have to pay stuff up.
Themselves into trouble by assuming that they will always make that much money. In the past, most financial professionals would generally agree that beyond a certain income level, you can just brute force your way through a lot of dumb financial decisions.
Yeah.
And as long as you maintain that income, you'd have to try pretty hard to not get richer every year.
The thing is that if you have a lot of money, you have to think less. You have to worry less. You don't have to think about and calculate every single thing in the move you do got to do. Like, and that's the problem with people living paycheck to paycheck, is that when they got to go look at the grocery lists, there's a war. There's a battle there. They gotta figure out where they can save some money.
But today, financial hardship amongst the top 1% of income earners has gone from a rare cautionary tale to the majority. And ironically, one of the biggest groups contributing to this trend are those same financial professionals. So if this data is to be believed, one of two things have happened. Either rich people have gotten a lot dumber with their money, or certain industries have just gotten a lot better at taking it from them.
I think there's a mixture of both. I think the factor is rich people are focusing a lot on rich branding and rich products. So they are very easy to use. They use their money more easily than people that are more toward like the 50K or under 100K income, yearly income. I think that people that have more money just doesn't think too much about it and associate themselves toward more luxury.
Most people live paycheck to paycheck in New York City.
I have more money anxiety almost now than I ever did in my 20s.
For $4,965 before taxes and fees.
A concrete square.
If I had 500K salary, I wouldn't even move house. It's dumb people who don't know how to be smart with money. Well, you're a family man, right? You have a family, you have 5 kids. Now, if you earn $500,000, and you could think to yourself, should I locate my kids to another region where perhaps they will have better school opportunities, have a different type of environments, and a sort of a better education for themselves that they can have an upbringing, or your wife or you yourself can have more business opportunities. Now, these situations tends to happen in a place like a bigger city like New York or other places where you find more opportunity to either work or make money, or for your children itself. So most of the people that earn these kind of money tends to associate themselves in environments that are better, well adjusted for both their children and for their financial job. There's a reason why a lot of people that are making money goes to Dubai. Okay, it's because the environment there, you don't make friends in Dubai, for example. You don't start a family in Dubai. You don't fucking do that. But what goes on in Dubai is the factor that there is an environment of people grinding, and you will never be the rich guy around you, and you will have multiple business opportunities around you. You will have a lot of things that's going on. So whenever you're making money, your thought is often not about sitting there with the position you're at. You're trying to advance yourself or go further on, or you think about your family's like advancement itself.
Here in the Mexico City Stadium, $700 or $1,450 for a view of the start in Singapore.
It doesn't matter whether you make, you make $100,000 or not.
Sometimes when parsing through economic data, it's important to see the funny side in it all. And one of the funniest developments of the last decade is the growing levels of inequality amongst the top 1%. According to studies conducted by UBS and Altrata, there are between 50 and 60 million millionaires in the world at the moment. But even amongst this group of extremely wealthy global residents, the top 1% amongst them still holds almost a third of their collective wealth. Now, these studies were tracking accumulated wealth rather than annual income, but it still showed the same problem. Nobody feels poorer every day than really rich people. Except for very particular careers like service staff, people overwhelmingly interact with other people from within their general income grouping. If you work an upper middle class professional job, there is a good chance your partner also works a middle class professional job. You will live in a neighborhood with other upper middle class professionals. Your friends from college would have gone on to get similar middle class jobs.
This was exactly what I explained.
And your kids will probably go to school with other kids from other—
Dude, this is exactly what I tried to explain earlier. Like, it's actually impressive he's talking about it. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about.
You will live in a neighborhood with other upper middle class professionals. Your friends from college would have gone on to get similar middle class jobs, and your kids will probably go to school with other kids from other middle class families. An article published by the Journal of Nature that tracked over 72 million Facebook connections found that socioeconomic status was the main determinant of who you are friends with. This means that day in and day out, you are going to interact with people living a somewhat similar lifestyle to your own. Sure, within this group, there will be some differences in take-home pay. Your neighbors might be a rung above you on the corporate ladder, and you might feel the need to keep up with their new cars or nice vacations. But apart from a few small details, people 10% below you and people 10% above you on the income distribution spectrum are going to live the same kind of life. In other words, within your social circle, inequality usually isn't that extreme. The study also found
you're right, Holyy. There's no need for it. But there is a certain perspective where you feel like there is a need for it. Again, you want to stand within a social class, and there is needs to stay within it.
Be true for households with the lowest incomes. They overwhelmingly interacted with other low-income households, which had a negative impact on economic mobility. The old adage of "it's who you know, not what you know" is unfortunately absolutely true. And if the only people you know aren't in a position to give you any special favors, it's much harder to get ahead regardless of ability. But that's a separate issue that we don't have time to get into today. Where this gets really interesting, though, is by moving the scale all the way to the top. It's only here that extreme inequality is visible within a decile of wealth. If you earn $500,000 a year as an analyst at a private equity firm, you are wealthy by almost anybody's standards. But compared to your general partner who is making $10 million a year, you are basically destitute. Basically, nowhere else on the income spectrum would you be working alongside someone else that made 20 times more than you. That general partner will also be raising money from billionaire investors who, by comparison, make them look poor. And then when those mere single-digit billionaires fly to Davos, they are going to be rubbing shoulders with other business people several hundred times richer than them. There are several orders of magnitude in income and wealth variance within just the top 1%, which means lifestyle comparison is far more damaging. If you work as a roofer, your colleagues might convince you that you need to lease a new F-150. If you work in a hedge fund, your colleagues might convince you to fly private to Art Basel for the networking. This is part of the reason why people making only $200,000 to $300,000 a year were doing significantly better financially in the Goldman Sachs study.
Only
on
200,
average, these people were still
guys.
living in the real world and were largely exposed to other normal people. Demographers have dubbed this socioeconomic fractality, and it was actually first observed by Vilfredo Pareto when he was poring over tax documents more than 100 years ago. You may know this guy from the Pareto Principle or the 80-20 rule, so that's pretty cool. But in the 100 years since this was first observed, some things have changed. Recent booms in global wealth have further divided since this was first observed.
Now, isn't this true? Man.
Some things have changed. Recent booms in global wealth have further divided this tiny group of wealthy people, and that's done two things. The first is that it's created absolutely hilarious situations that you are all welcome to point and laugh at. Like this guy complaining in a local Palo Alto paper that billionaires building their mega mansions were, and I quote, running roughshod over average millionaires like himself. This is unironically just one of many, many instances of millionaires complaining about how hard they have it now. But while it's fun to laugh, there is something more here. Inequality has always existed, and as dumbfounding as the recent spike in millionaires living paycheck to paycheck is, it does shine some light on some other concerning developments. So it's time to learn how many works to find out how the top 1% got so good at bankrupting themselves. This week's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot and their new E7 Pro standing desk. FlexiSpot has been making ergonomic workstations for years, focusing on helping people stay comfortable and productive, especially if you spend a lot of time at the computer like I do. The E7 Pro is their upgraded dual-monitor standing desk with a 440-pound
I wanted to get one for a while,
and
actually.
a height range from 25 to 50.6 inches. It's surprisingly stable even at full height, and it comes with a 15-year warranty and a 30-day risk-free return window.
That's amazing.
As you can imagine, I spend a lot of time at my desk, whether it's creating videos or gaming. My old desk struggled with my heavy monitor setup, and it always had a bit of shake to it. But the E7 Pro stays solid no matter how much I'm typing or adjusting things. Being able to change height throughout the day has genuinely helped my back and made long sessions a lot more bearable. And for any keyboard and mouse gamers out there like me, you don't have to worry about your monitor shaking and
Every
messing up.
office, modern day office I've been to recently have these. They have them, and I think it's great. I think it's great you're giving the option for workers that they can stand a little bit instead of always sitting. And a lot of people use that opportunity as well.
Up your aim. FlexiSpot is also running their Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% and even a chance at completely free orders. They offer extra discounts for students, teachers, medical workers, military, and recent grads too.
Wow.
If you're on a tighter budget, the regular E7 is also a good option. If you want to check it out, head to flexispot.com and use my code HMW30 at checkout to save an extra $30. And if you end up grabbing one, leave a note with my channel name to help support the channel. Okay, so the extreme concentration of wealth at the very top of the distribution has become more pronounced over recent years. But it's not new just by itself. Merely wealthy people have always been exposed to extremely wealthy people. Just because they have gone from 100 times wealthier to 400 times wealthier doesn't really change the arithmetic of inadequacy. What this has changed—
I'll have to look and see if I can make one myself. Yeah, I wish you the best. I think Linus made a video where he showed a really cool setup. I saw like a TikTok and somebody said that Linus made a video on how you make that setup. I recommend checking it out and see if you can find one.
Though, is how expensive it is to be a rich person. Now, the most obvious example of this is the cities people are living in. Unless you are running your own business or working as a specialist doctor, there are really only a few cities in America with jobs that pay more than $500,000 a year, and the house prices in all of these cities are amongst the most expensive on the planet. If you want an average family home within commuting distance of Seattle, Silicon Valley, Manhattan, or even Miami, you are going to be paying 7 figures for the privilege. Put a 50-year mortgage on that, and then after income, property, and state taxes, in most of these centers, that is going to leave you with around $50,000 a year in actual disposable income. Now, I know what you were thinking. $50,000 a year after taxes and housing are accounted for would be a dream for most families.
Yeah.
And you would be absolutely right. But there are 2 reasons why for many ultra-high income earners, it's not. The first reason is quite simply
they waste their money. They don't know how to handle their money. They know how to make money, but not use it.
That just because someone is earning a high income does not mean that they are smart with money.
Yeah.
Or even that smart in general.
Yeah.
People who choose high prestige careers are, rather shockingly, often motivated by, well, prestige. Which means they will happily go into debt to keep up appearances around their peers.
I don't think there's an issue with using money to go on vacations and experience the world, have an experience and enjoy yourself, you know? Like, that's what you're making the money for. You have one life, you should enjoy yourself. That's more of my perspective, and it's like more of a cultural thing where I come from. We don't really spend that much money where I'm from on luxury things and items and physical objects. We tend to spend it on experiences. That's why I usually travel quite a lot. If you know me, I travel a lot every year. I try to travel quite a bit or go out and experience hiking or anything like that. And I think that is great. It is good. But most of these situations is people that make money tends to spend money on things that are often more expensive than they should be, or wasted on things they don't need or doesn't use.
50,000
7 vacation last 3. No, I went on 3. Actually, I went on 2. I went on 2 vacations. That's it.
$1,000 after taxes and housing
Since summer
can easily pay for a comfortable lifestyle, but it doesn't cover a luxurious lifestyle. People who land high-income roles also have a sense of entitlement to these luxuries, since it often takes years of highly competitive schooling to get there. So, once they have made it through all of that and landed their first real job, it's time to treat themselves. Of course, the career path where this is most common is medical doctors. An article published by the British Medical Journal, as well as a separate survey from the University of Pennsylvania, found that most American physicians were graduating medical school with practically zero financial literacy. And yes, despite the name, the British Medical Journal judges us here in America too. Anyway, this doesn't actually make doctors that unique by itself. Most people have practically zero financial responsibility. The difference is that because of their much higher than average incomes, people like doctors are given access to far more dangerous financial tools right from the beginning. When you add in the fact that these young graduates are also already comfortable with having taken out six-figure debt to get through medical school in the first place, it's really easy for a bank to sell them a big home loan and a car loan on top of that. Even seasoned financial professionals can get in trouble with this stuff if they are not careful. So, giving this much rope to someone without a clue is very dangerous. It would be like skipping through to the end of a very challenging video game and giving yourself a max-level character. Theoretically, you have all the right tools to deal with endgame content.
Do that.
But unless you actually know what you are doing, you can easily get yourself into trouble if even the smallest thing goes wrong. Now, doctors get a lot of attention for this, because financial stress amongst practitioners has been connected to worse patient outcomes, which is bad for everybody. But they are not alone. Even finance pros who should, theoretically, be good at this stuff frequently take on too much debt to keep up with everybody around them and find themselves living paycheck to paycheck.
That is crazy.
So yeah, high-income earners not being as smart as they think they are may come as a shock to them, but maybe not so much as a shock to you. But the second reason why financial hardship has become so common amongst these people is because companies have realized that this is where the money is now, and they have rushed in to fill any gaps in their budgets. The old team at Micro did a great video a few months ago about the hyperinflation of the hyper-wealthy. I will leave a link to it below if you are interested in the details. But the rough summary is that the number of products, services, and experiences dedicated exclusively to extremely wealthy people has exploded in recent years. 20 years ago, there was only one production car that retailed for more than $1 million, and that was the Bugatti Veyron. Today, even after accounting for inflation, there are more than 100 different models in this price range, and new offerings frequently cost in excess of $5 million. This is a clear example, but even for people at the plebeian end of the 1%, high-end hotels, credit cards, social clubs, sports, events, clothing, airline seats, even high-end gyms and grocery stores have all developed to offer an exclusive service at a massively inflated price.
That is the thing, exclusive, and that's what we talked about earlier on. It is these separate gaps that are made up to look more, should I say, more for the rich individuals out there, more prestigious products, while in theory, in reality, they're just as blatant and they're exactly the same as the cheaper product that you can get. Sometimes they will put a little bit of garnish on top of it to make it look a little more fancier. For example, let's say a fitness gym, okay? Let's talk about a fitness gym. What is the difference, Nelly, with a fitness gym that is $500 and one that is like $60 every month? Now, the $500 one, you can buy food. You can go to the restaurants. That's probably mostly it. Maybe the $500 one is a little bit larger, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. There's barely any change here, and that's the garnish they've added onto it. The bigger personal trainer have bigger boobs. Yeah, probably that too.
Not all high-income earners will buy this stuff, and even those who do won't buy all of it. But the point is that there are more options than ever at
I've talked to some I personally don't care about these things at all. And I know some people that are rich that care, but I know a lot of rich people that actually don't give a fuck about this either. I think it's very interesting. I feel like this is more like of a loop that you get caught into, and you are essentially just kind of baited into this, and then you assume this matters. But in the end of the day, it's your money, and if you care about it, that's for you.
The fate of conspicuous consumption. And even $500,000 a year won't buy all you can eat like it used to. Now again, I know it's hard to feel too bad for these people, but all of this still comes with two very big caveats. The first is that the only reason why high-income household budgets are being targeted so hard is because the budgets of average incomes have already been optimally exploited. Between the various flavors of consumer debt and price increases, most people don't have that much left to give, which means companies are almost being forced to go up market to grow their revenue. I have mentioned it before, but even Walmart has attributed most of their recent sales growth to targeting higher income consumers, since most other households have already been maxed out. High income households are only starting to feel the pinch because everybody else has already been thoroughly juiced. Oh yeah. And the final most important caveat is that a lot of these high income households can still end up doing just fine in the long run. Their paycheck to paycheck isn't yet the same as everybody else's. Struggling to make the mortgage payments on a home in Seattle may be just as financially stressful as struggling to make rent. But in 30 years, those people should have fully paid off a home in one of the most expensive cities on the planet. High-income employees also get benefits like employer-funded retirement accounts or restricted stock units that can provide a scheduled liquidity boost even if they are living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of the year to cover their living expenses. Wealth inequality and income inequality go hand in hand, because if you earn a high income, you can build up wealth faster than someone with a lower income. But what we are seeing today is, thanks to massive asset price appreciation, you still won't be able to build wealth with your income faster than people can create income from their wealth. And remember, this is all just taking place within the top 1%. For everybody else, go and watch this video next to find out why you simply don't matter anymore. Economically speaking, of course. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're just people that know how to make money, but they're dumb with money. They're just being dumb. And that's pretty much the end of it. They just don't know how to handle and don't know how to maintain it. People don't understand maintenance needed for a waterfront house. Like people just don't know. Like there's just people just in general don't really know how to calculate or figure out their finances, their spendings, and they can't realize whenever a product is clearly a scam or a fair trade. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, people don't matter anymore. It's just a 7 corporation passing a trill on each other with fake bot engagement. It truly is. It truly is a lot of that nowadays. My God. Budgeting 2025 doesn't exist. It does exist, but it's rough. I think it is rough because like things are so expensive nowadays. There's so many things that are expensive as fuck. Man. I've been what is this? I don't care. Anyways, yeah. I need to get water. 1 sec. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Been live for 3 hours. I need to get some drinks, man. My only expense this year was 2 months ago when my motherboard CPU 6-year fried. 3K on a new PC and happy I did it because of 4K at least by next year. My expenses, the biggest expense I've had is that I had to help my brother with something. And I went on vacations. And I am getting like glassed off my balcony. Those are pretty much the biggest ones. Otherwise, I haven't really had any crazy expenses. I'm not planning to change my upgrade my PC or anything like that this year. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if the 7K series is very cool. At the moment, I have like no interest at all. I feel like I'm fine with what I have. I remember when gas was 99 cents gallon and all good all days. They're increasing the prices even more now. For fucking gas. Like they just keep on increasing price for everything, man. They never stop. Gen Z in Eastern Europe is doomed. What the fuck? I'm so tired of seeing this bear cup. I'm seeing way too many videos about this damn bear cup. Should we watch that weird Craigslist video? I don't know. The deserved downfall of Duolingo. Did Duolingo die? Has people stopped using it? I remember when gas was 50 cents a liter. Sag, when was that? Great, now we're all depressed because we're thinking about money. 161, Jesus. I think he's even more here. In the 90s? Oh shit. The good times, right? They all remember the 90s. Good time. Dude, I've been watching a little bit Stranger Things and like 80s vibes, man. I kind of wish I was like growing up in the 80s in a way. Like the vibes there, just like like I've always seen it before as well. Like the vibes of 80s just look so chill. So the life right now, like the world right now, has like a dystopian feeling. You know what I mean? There's like, I feel like there's like no there's no like color to it in a way. It's a weird explanation, but it's just like weird now. Like you look at other things in the past and it just gives off a different vibe. Remember when diesel was half price and diesel would outlaw the 2030 in 2032, I think? What the fuck? Me too. I just being away from the house and riding in a bike with friends. No fucking iPads, fear of being kidnapped. Yeah. I mean, like, to be honest, I bugged a lot with homies when I was a kid. I think I didn't spend... We did play on, like consoles and, like, our Game Boys and everything like that, but I spent a good amount of time outside. I did, like, when I was a kid. No picture taken out of you in 80s was a horrid fashion. Could be used as a blackmail nowadays. Dude, the 80s style look fucking cool. Like, the hairs are crazy. The hairstyles are nuts. Playing in the woods every day? I didn't do that. I didn't live near the woods. But I think we were taken to the woods quite often in school. That was a good time. Spent all my time myself in the forest playing around my neighbor when I was 10 years old. Really, that's awesome. No, I used to play out the side a lot with friends and neighbors and stuff like that, and classmates and stuff like that. It was never ending. It's a good time, but there's something about the 80s vibes. You just like, I don't know. It looks nice. It looks fun. Building forts, they can keep the skinny jeans though. The skinny jeans are ugly. I got bitten by dogs like every other what the fuck? You were PvPing every day? Like, what the hell happened with you? Stray dogs everywhere there? Oh my god. We didn't have stray dogs there. Does that mean like were they like sick or something? Isn't that like really dangerous? The truth about black nerds. What the fuck is that? New band name, Stray Dogs? I bet it is a thing. Used to go to the beach. Beach was during the flip phone. You can take a picture on your still S. Dude, the flip phones were awesome. I've seen that flip phones has a comeback. There's like Samsung flip phones now that look pretty good. I really want one. They look pretty chill. We had fewer fat people when we had more Stray Dogs because they had to run. I'll be real with you. I think we like barely anybody was fat in my school. There was like one guy or one guy and a girl. I think that was pretty much it. Most people were like always, I don't know, like the diet we eat here tends to be really, really clean. And I think those kids, I don't really think they were eating bad. I think it was like probably something wrong. I remember a girl in middle school. I used to hang out with like quite a lot of groups, and one group was like filled with like literally 20 or 30 people. And one of the girl in the middle there, like one of the girl in the group thought I was like fatter or fat something. She thought, she was surprised because she always saw me in a sweater, because I always used to wear sweaters. I love sweaters. But then she saw me running in the class hall with just like a, you know, like a long shirt. And she saw how skinny I was. And she was like, she told me then like later that night that she was like super shocked when she saw me, because she's always seen me in a hoodie and she thought I was fat or fatter. I don't know. I had like shit, but so I managed to not be mega fat. Yes, I'm 30, might betray me. Yeah. No, I think that, I think age later on that hits you. I've never been like that. If I start eating shit, I gain weight. I don't have that metabolism for that. But, you know, you can, what is this? What's this? Damn. Nope, you have to until 40, then your body will kick your ass. This is 40, 35, 40 is when you're gaining some weight. Is that when you gain weight? So you gotta stay really lean before you hit 35, 40. That's pretty much what you're saying. Is this guy still making videos? I remember this guy. He used to post a lot of videos. Oh, he's still grinding. Okay, good for him. Oh, that is YouTube video. Stop like going to recommendation. No, he's still grinding. He's still doing good. The correlation impeccable. I mean, maybe. I mean, most of the time, you're like sickness and diseases are the things that tends to make you gain weight and shit like that. But I think that it's harder to lose weight the older you get. Did you play Dispatch? No, I didn't. I was planning to, but somebody told me, I think it was Cake Ninja, told me in chat that it's like episode based and it's not done. So I was like, okay, I don't want to play it then, because it's not finished, it's not done. But Art is a really good game. Like, it has really good reviews. It's done now, is it? So there's no more episodes? How did that work? Good game. The finale really ties everything together. Hopefully we get a season 2. I don't understand it. Is it a movie or is it a game? It's choice-based game. Okay. It's really good reviews. Like, that's crazy. It actually has insane reviews. Like, this game really blew up. What the fuck? It has 101,000 reviews. Overwhelmingly positive. 98% of them are positive. Is this real? Oh, here's the negative review. 6.5 hours in. Super strong woman with perfect moral, perfect hair, perfect voice, perfect everything. With infinite rule of power over the men. Captain Marvel, ring bell, because why not? Men are loser, bro. Oh, this guy's just mad. Okay. Oh yeah, you sure? You gotta be careful with that. Someone like Detroit Become Human. Yeah, so the story-based games. Yeah, I know of those. I like them. I never played one on stream. Maybe we'll play that one day. One guess who his manager is? Yeah. That guy's just mad. He's just mad about DEI and everything. There's no Captain Marvel. No, he's talking about a character. I don't know who he's talking about. Just read a negative review. Probably talking about a girl that is in the game that is like, he like basically thinks there's like Captain Marvel. Mary Sue. That's funny. Women on screen, Madge. I know. Some people are like that, though. There are some people like that. At least nowadays. They think that everything has a social message. They're like cooked. Oh, shit. Once it clicks in the brain, it just, they just see it everywhere. Yeah, I know. It must be exhausting to think that way, though. They get mad at everything. Is there anything else that's been crazy going on? Man, I'm getting a lot of bakery videos. Jesus Christ. Do Tugs video, Gen Z versus Millennials versus everyone. I feel like I've done like I would feel like I watched a Millennial video for like not too long ago. Tugs. Yeah, I watched this. I watched this video. Actually, no, I haven't watched this video. I watched a Gen Z Millennial video not too long ago. Millennials are almost 40 now. You will love the video. Sure, we can watch it. You mean Big Tug, right? Yeah, I assume it's this one. Gen Z versus Millennial versus everyone. Millennials are almost 40 now. That's crazy. Millennials are growing old, man. Y'all old. Y'all all bitches. How does it feel? Honestly, I don't think even 40 is old. I feel like, I don't know. I bet like people that are 40 still think like they're like 15 in some ways. I feel like the more you grow, like in some sort of sense, you're just like your brain is so wired to be like young. The knees go first. Yeah, that must suck, man. You gotta go work out. Go stretch out your legs. All right, let's take a look at this video. Let's check it out. I never watched Tugs actually. I've never watched them before. Don't remind me, Gen X is heading toward boomer age. Ooh. Try not to think about it, man. Doesn't matter. It all matters is how you feel on the inside, right? Right? I don't know. Anyways, let's check this video out. Man, big tug. Gen Z versus millennial versus everybody. I got recommended this, and this seems like a fun little topic to talk about. Let's check it out.
Go to extratug.com for exclusive comedy content that YouTube won't let me post, as well as perks that you have to see to believe.
Spend any time in a comment section, and eventually you'll find the toxic barbs of modern generational warfare.
Yes.
These hateful comments pop up on every...
Don't worry, they're just quirky. The reason they hate them is because they talked to them before they had their coffee. Don't worry, they won't find this. They're too busy reading BuzzFeed article about why the 90s were better. Oh, I love this.
Thing from recipes to movie reviews, and they're usually summed up as kids these days are a bunch of weak little snowflake pussies, or okay boomer. And there's nothing in between those two comments. Over the last decade, the generation gap has become an exploited part of the zeitgeist. But the fact of the matter is that this conversation is literally nothing new. It's been going on since they were making clay pots in Rome. Older generations have been complaining about kids these days since ancient Greece. And of course, the younger generation has felt misunderstood for just as long. Mom, it's not a phase. I am emo, and also I'm Attila the Hun's kid.
Yes.
I don't know history that well. But a recent survey shows 64% of Gen Z adults believe older generations will never fully understand their struggles. And 65% of
I lost my virginity while listening to Alvin Flames.
boomers and Gen Xers also think that the younger generation will never be able to understand their struggles. But see, we're not so different, you and I. And that's why, instead of focusing on our differences, we should find unity in our similarities. Which, in my estimation, is the fact that every single generation has sucked. All of them. Every single one. The one you're in sucks. The one I'm in, big sucks.
Every single one have something bad, but I'll be real with you. Like at the moment, I feel like millennials are the one that got the most fucked. Like they got really fucked in some ways. Like they got really fucked, and they're also being really cringe.
I'm not on your side. There are no sides here. We're all the worst. We are all the most whiny little bitches, and it's time to fess up. So get ready to be very mad at me, Tuglets, whether you're my mom.
I think Gen Z has some sort of... They're not serious at all. Like, I feel like Gen Z is the least caring generation ever, because they just... have you seen all of the... You have all of these serious scenarios in the world, and they fucking start dancing to it. They start popping some music and be like, this is my last one. Ooh! It's like, they don't take anything seriously, man. They just fuck around.
Mom's age, my age, or a little bit younger than me, because today I'm talking about every single generation. Let's get into it.
But first... let's do an ad. 25 bucks. Literally the lowest price.
Millennials are losing their mind. They've been fucked too hard. That's so wrong. I am the most serious dude ever. Yeah, truly you are, Vladimir. Did you not tell me like a beautiful like story yesterday? I remember what you told me
the lowest
yesterday.
price you'll ever find for something like this. Find your family history through DNA with MyHeritage. So I don't know if you'd be able to tell this from my voice, face, and overall look.
I kind of want to do
American. Land of the
Not
free,
gonna, I kind of want to do
whoever
this shit.
shows up. And because of our immigrant history as a nation, my genetic makeup is everywhere. It is a nightmare. And most of us really don't know what our genetic makeup is. Like, yeah, your dad says you're mostly Irish, but he only knows that because his dad said that to him, and we all know our grandfathers are liars. So to find my actual heritage, I partnered with MyHeritage for this video.
Amazing.
MyHeritage is the leading global family history and DNA service that makes exploring your family history easier than ever. Do a quick 2-minute cheek swab, send out the test, and find out your origins and relatives in more regions than any other test available. They also have a privacy policy where they will never share your DNA data, which...
You believe them on that, guys? You think that's true? I don't think that's true. This kind of looks cool.
I find extremely important, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I took this test, I was just hoping to find out pretty much what my makeup is, because I legitimately have no idea. I'm just an amalgamation of a bunch of different European white people. All right, here it is. I'm 31% Irish. Won't make sense, but okay. 12% Swedish, and 56.2% other ethnicities. 12% Swedish, 10% Scottish and Welsh, 10% Germanic, 6% Breton, 3.7% Eastern European.
Bro, you are really mixed. What the fuck? You're 2.7% Norwegian? Welcome, brother. It's a brother.
3% Spanish, Catalan, and Basque, and 2.5% Dutch. I nailed it. Just a complete dog mix. I also have a thing called DNA matches, which connects you to possible relatives that you weren't aware of, which is crazy. Apparently, I have a great aunt called Buckowitz. Good to know. That's a great last name. And one last thing to mention is their ancient origins feature. You can trace your origins back 10,000 years to find out which ancient civilization you descend from. An overall very cool feature which said that I descended from the Romans.
You should really consider getting the MyHeritage bundle. With my code BigTug25, you're not just getting an insane price on a DNA kit, $25.
For the exact same price, you're getting a 30-day free trial. You're getting free shipping.
Why would you need the more than the first purchase? Why is this a sub? What do you pay for? Right? Because you pay for the analysis, right? Why do you subscribe to this? Like, this is my... Huh?
Origins feature, and so much more. You'd be a dummy to pass up on this amazing bundle and just get the DNA kit. I'm just being honest here. So click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen and get started with MyHeritage today. Now, we're going to do the respectful thing here and start with our elders. And this generation really seems to give a about respecting your elders. Go to a McDonald's. They're screaming at people to do it. Baby boomers. People who were born between 1946 and 1964. My father is the last baby boomers possible. He was born in 1964, and I am the last I'm the last millennial possible? No, I'm the first year of Gen Z. So I'm not a millennial. I don't with Harry Potter. I'm cool. I'm cool like the kids are. It's no wonder baby boomers have such big heads. Time magazine awarded them its famous Person of the Year award back in 1967, giving an entire generation a Person of the Year award. Did the baby boomers give that to themselves? That's insane. This generation took over the world quickly due to their sheer numbers. After Hitler put a bullet in his head, allegedly, we got really horny. What a weird sentence that was. But I guess the Holocaust and the atomic bomb got a lot of people horny to put a in a...
I mean, it's time for freedom, right? Like, everybody was chilling. There was no more wars. Finally, so they were just like, we ignored the Cold War, but like there was no more wars, so there was no reason to stress out. So everybody was just happy and doing their thing.
I don't know if I could say any of that, Chris. It made people want to have sex. That's probably better. As a result, the U.S. experienced a massive surge in babies, and by 1964, baby boomers...
What happened? What the fuck is happening here, man? What the... Oh, dude, they really fucked. Holy, they really fucked. Is it drugs? Maybe it was drugs.
Made up 40% of the population. And while it is very difficult...
That was the WoW classic era.
To picture now, baby boomers were once the youth,
the typical WoW players in that range
and such. I don't know what happened, probably the lead in the gasoline, but at the end of the day, they used to be cool. Baby boomers were the hippies during the Vietnam era. The economic prosperity that led to higher fertility rates after World War II also led to higher rates of college students in the 60s, which means that student-led protests in the 60s and 70s had a bunch of numbers behind them, because there was a bunch of these guys. These guys used to fight for what was right, man. I don't know what happened. Maybe that's why the Ohio National Guard killed 4 students and wounded 9 others at an anti-war protest at Penn State University in 1970. I've touched on this atrocity a few times, like the Cold War video that I made. Chris, do not play the music. We're not talking about that today. I'm skipping the Cold War today. But you can't overstate how massive the social upheaval was in the country at this time. Baby boomers were leading youth-oriented change, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. They shifted from flower power, free love, and psychedelic jam bands to cutthroat capitalists. And this might be best encapsulated by Rolling Stone magazine. I just realized I was doing the band kid hand there. When they do like reports, they do a lot of this. I gotta stop doing that. I'm gonna put this in my pocket. But the Rolling Stone went from a radical magazine based in San Francisco that covered rock and roll and the counterculture to a glossy entertainment magazine of the 80s that called New York City home. And here's where the really annoying part of the baby boomers come into play. There's a lot of annoying parts, but here's a really annoying one. They've been selling us the nostalgia of their peace and love origin story for so long, it's made them filthy rich. Baby boomers are the wealthiest generation, and it's not even close. Not even by an iota is it close. That's not the right word. As a result, they have this pick yourself up by the bootstraps mentality. Have you ever even thought about that phrase, boomers? It's supposed to be ironic. You can't possibly pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Physics, it don't work like that. Chris, put up bootstraps. How am I supposed to lift myself with these things? They're on my feet. But
You
boomers had
figure it
every
out.
advantage possible. They got their educations back when college was half as expensive as it is today. In the 1970s, 4-year degree cost about $39,000 when adjusted it for inflation. And today it costs a little over $90,000. And you could work a minimum wage job. How many stories have you heard from boomers who are like, I worked at McDonald's for 2 months and now I can go to college and buy a house? And the house thing. They also bought houses super cheap too. I keep alluding to that. According to one survey, 64% of boomers paid less than $100,000 for their home. 34% paid under $50,000. Could you imagine that?
Wow.
And wouldn't you know it, cheap education and cheap home ownership have led to a very comfortable life. Boomers have accumulated a collective net worth of $82 trillion, more than double the amount of Gen X and 4 times that of millennials. But they just worked real hard, right?
They worked hard. They
Eventually, you'd
deserved
think
it,
that
right?
Younger generations would catch up, and you'd be right, but not for the reasons that you think. It's not investments or rising wages. That's not happening. Instead, baby boomers are gonna die. Yeah, it's dark, but it's true.
No!
The only chance the rest of us have to survive is just waiting for everyone's babushka to kick the bucket. Economicists refer to this as the Great Wealth Transfer, and they forecast that by 2048, over $100 trillion in assets will change hands through inheritance. But if you're thinking, hey, why don't we just pressure governments to help make laws about wealth disparities, right? That should be a better way to do this. Well, good luck, because boomers control the government. Although they only make 23% of the population, they hold 39% of the House of Representatives and 61% of the Senate. But okay, obviously boomers suck. I don't want to harp on that. I mean, we all know that at this point. If I have boomer fans, they're aware of that. I would hope. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even scratch the surface. Chris, will you put in a completely arbitrary time counter on the corner of the screen so it's really jazzed up the motivation to keep watching this video, and also so it looks like I'm going really fast? Thank you. I'm going to run through all the stupid boomer right now, and we're going to see how fast I can do that. Ready, set, go. Facebook. Okay, millennials created it. I know. But Facebook only continues to exist because boomers use it for the unholy blend of political propaganda and wholesome memes.
Do actual millennials use Facebook still? Like, are there actual, because like, I don't know, like, Gen Z, I don't think Gen Z does not use Facebook anymore. Do millennials still use Facebook? Because I only think like people that are over 55 or 60 use Facebook. Never had Facebook account. We used Facebook, was popular when I was like in high school and shit like that, so I used Facebook. But after that, I stopped entirely.
Bundy, a weird serial killer
Like
who was
family
getting
stuff?
a lot of pussy, who broke out of prison and had uncomfortable amounts.
You know, my family is a little bit annoyed that I don't use like Facebook and Snapchat, because they want me to be on there so I can talk to everybody and stuff like that. Like I remember I got like a complaint from my brother from another family member. Like, they said it was sad.
Of fans. Jeffrey Dahmer, there was Dahmer, a weird serial killer with no pussy power who was sent gifts by fans while they were in prison. A lot of serial killers and a lot of serial killer boomer fans. I don't know why they were doing that. They were big fans of I don't know. Trickle-down economics, that's on the boomers too. This is the economic theory that cutting taxes and regulations for the wealthy and corporations will stimulate the economy and benefit all income levels.
Amazing.
Guess what? That doesn't work. We actually have proof of that. A 50-year study that lays out all the data across multiple countries. But since this economic approach benefits the rich boomers, they just ignore the facts and keep cutting down on their own taxes. Golf. Boomers play a lot of golf, and I understand that younger generations play golf too. With the stodgy, exclusive country club part of the golf ethos is all boomer. Sure, go ahead and make a deal that's gonna destroy the environment while you play the back nine, you piece of shit. All right, moving on. Now, for some of you, this video is gonna be the first time you've ever thought about Gen X. But it's like our parents' age, or my parents' age. This generation was born between 1965 and 1980. And you don't think about them because for general online discourse, Gen Xers are often dismissed as boomers. And it sort of makes sense that this generation has fallen under the radar because they are known as the forgotten generation. They were the first generation where oftentimes both parents went to work, and they experienced the highest divorce rate in the US history.
Wow.
As a result, many of them grew up as latchkey kids. Doing the band kid hand again. What the is that? Have I always done that? But these kids were left to their own devices and
Look at
became a
that.
wayward
Just look at
group
the
of
vibes, man. This is vibes.
individualists. Were equally obsessed with pop culture as they were with authenticity. Without traditional familial bonds
Hell
of
yeah.
earlier generations, Gen X was characterized by strong peer relationships, and this applied to their music as well. Gen X had some pretty good goddamn music, you gotta give it to them. If you look at the genres popularized by Gen Xers, you see the punk, metal, rap, grunge, and assorted dance genres, all with unique identities and generally well-defined boundaries. And more than any other
Those
factor,
bikes were
these
awesome. I bet like you were the mad bitch with that thing. Like, I bet people love that stuff, man. DMX came out. Ooh.
Like identities were brought to the limelight thanks to cable TV. Gen X's love cable. Not only was the advent of cable TV allowing kids to develop niche interests in ways that older generations couldn't, but it was exposing them to things they just hadn't seen before. And the biggest example of this change was MTV. Have you heard of it? Big deal. Jersey Shore, that was the end of it. Watching MTV wasn't as important as protesting a war, but it was a prism through which many Gen Xers viewed the world. Whether it was the fall of the Berlin Wall, the AIDS crisis, or presidential elections, MTV provided Gen X with news coverage as it related to them. It's easy to forget, but MTV had its own news division for 36 years. MTV news briefs would periodically pop up on the channel throughout the day and cover everything from tour dates to celebrity deaths and politics. As icons like Kurt Cobain, Tupac, and Biggie Smalls passed away in an increasingly violent era of pop culture, the news always broke for Gen X on MTV. But maybe MTV was a little too good at selling the culture, because Gen X became very quickly noted as slackers by older generations. And sure, there was a vague anti-establishment ethos that was flowing through music genres like grunge and hip-hop, but if anything, it didn't make them lazier, it just made them holier than thou, which really...
Dude, I'm so old. I remember when MTV was about music. Dude, I loved MTV, man. I loved MTV as a kid. I mean, when I watched MTV, it was mostly music, but it still had its shows and shit like that, and I love those. I don't know, like... I don't know. I've always loved bitches. I don't know. There's something about bitches being bitches, just like arguing about stupid fucking shit, that is like the most entertaining for me. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Like, people think I'm an old man because I act so grown up and blah, 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 blah. But like, I love the dumbest shit that exists in the world. Like, I absolutely love that shit, man. You'd love Telenova. I don't even know what that is. Jersey Shore was peak. It was. There was some other shit as well that I absolutely loved.
Sucks. But Gen X didn't quite hit the financial lottery like baby boomers. But they still did, you know, benefit from much cheaper housing costs and education. So they often find themselves in a bizarre middle ground between baby boomers and millennials. You can tell in their bones that they want to be cool, which is probably a remnant of whatever MTV told them to feel at the time. But a lot of them still have pretty sweet retirement plans and home equity. Sure, they still have plenty to complain about, and you'll hear about it. Like the fact that they'll probably see their social security benefits shrink long before they enter the pearly gates. But while they act like pragmatic realists, they're really just bitter bitches. I mean, statistically, they do think they're better than you. Whoever you are, they think they're better than you. One survey asked Gen X to compare themselves to Zoomers, Millennials, and Baby Boomers in the workplace, and the results were telling. An overwhelming majority of Gen Xers, literally over 70%, believe they have better work ethic or more
watch along. What is novella? What is that? What is it about?
Entrepreneurial than every other generation. Somehow these flannel-clad children of divorce think they're better than everyone else on the planet. And even though they seem to have taken that X to heart and to consider themselves unique and individualistic self-starters, they're just bootlicking 9-to-5ers who love to talk about everything. Okay, Chris, please put more arbitrary time on the clock. It's time for the Gen X
Here we go, guys.
So here we go. Pearl Jam sucks. There was one good grunge band and that was Nirvana. Want to hear someone gargling mouthwash through a didgeridoo while slapping a raw ham? Check out Pearl Jam's greatest hits. Selling out. Big thing that Gen Xers did all the time. A little ironic given the fact that the entire generation itself is one massive sellout, but regardless, their concerns over it is ridiculous. Who cares? Let people live. If you were alive in the 90s and your favorite band was in a car commercial, you would have to publicly shame them so that everyone would know that you weren't a sellout as well, which is stupid. Let the people make money. I'll do an ad for butt plugs, I don't care. Crystal Pepsi, stupid. Why would you do that? Clear Pepsi, who needs that? You did it because they thought the clear drinks were healthier and they're not. That's stupid. You're stupid. You believe that you're stupid. Speaking about that,
aren't like Crystal Pepsi like super expensive now? Like, people still sell them on eBay and stuff, and people pay a lot of money for it.
Zima sucked. Why are you all about Zima? It wasn't just Pepsi that went clear. You had booze like Zima too. There was a citrus malt beverage that for most accounts tasted like this is before seltzer, but you didn't want to chug a Bud Heavy, so you settled on Zima, and it was a bad idea, and you guys should feel bad for it. Flannel. You know what? Sometimes flannels are still chill, but you guys wear it way too much. And also, you guys hate the concept of the handout, even though you all are getting handouts all the time. Handouts are fine. Everyone needs a handout every once in a while. Suck it up. All right. Chris, whatever time I got, celebrate it. Oh my god. Next up is millennials. These assholes born between 1981 and 1996 are painfully sincere. They were wearing suspenders, big floppy hats, and dreaming big dreams. The most admirable thing about millennials might just be their optimism. Though it's easy to look at as cringe-inducing, they more than earn those positive vibes considering they're probably the unluckiest generation in modern history. The oldest millennials hit the job market right as the 2001 recession hit, which was a bad time all around. But once that finally recovered, the 2008 recession hit, which probably was a little bit worse, if I'm being honest. I mean, they called it the Great Recession. You don't put great in front of something unless it sucks. And hey, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, COVID hit and put a dent in retirement funds and saving accounts while thousands lost their jobs. And yes, alright, maybe them damn millennials love their avocados a little bit too much, right? With their toast and But hey, they've had it rough enough, you know? Let them have their green-ass gross toast. Because on top of everything else, they came of age during one of the scariest and deadliest events in US history. The Hindenburg disaster. Is that what it's called? I'm making a joke. I can't remember whenever that blimp fell down. I'm talking about 9/11 is what I'm talking about. Older generations were obviously affected by 9/11 as well, but it was millennials who were shaped by it. 90% of Americans heard about the attack on TV. A lot of them even watched it live. In high schools and colleges, teenagers witnessed the chaos while sitting in classrooms. And once the shock of the moment started to fade, then we're at war. We're at war now. Oops. Oh, kids, you're having a good time? It's 2001. Haha. Shrek. No, we're at war and everyone died. Now, why we were
I assume everybody watched it live and stuff like that, and the teacher showed it on TV and stuff like that. I remember when the tsunami happened in Japan. You know, the big tsunami. Our teacher put that live broadcast up so we could see it. Like, our class was not showing at all. He showed that tsunami, that live broadcast of the tsunami in Japan, and we just talked about it for like hours, or like looking at it. And I assume this was the same case as when 9/11 happened. People just showed it live on TV. In school. In Romania, we all thought, oh great, another war is about to start. Oh shit.
Fighting is up for debate. Some think the war might have had more to do with oil or to settle a personal vendetta of President George W. Bush. But regardless of the reason, by the time George W. Bush finished his second term, we were ready to point in a different direction. And then along came the 2008 elections, and with it, we got Barry Obama.
Ooh.
Big fan of Barry Obama. He was a pimp. It was an upheaval of the system and an indictment of the cynical nature of Gen X and power-hungry
I'm not
boomers.
joking.
And Obama knew exactly how to tap into that energy. He ran an expert campaign that really hit on the idea of generational change, especially with his bold, simple slogan, hope. He tapped into millennials' deeply embedded sincerity by pioneering social media use in politics. And that may sound quaint now, but you gotta consider the fact that John McCain, who was running against him, didn't even have a email. This was pretty revolutionary. Obama used social media and championed social causes, playing the generation like a fiddle. Now, I'm not saying don't change the world, but in hindsight, the whole situation seemed pretty naive. There's a delusion to this generation that is mind-blowing. The idea that a president would bring about sweeping positive social change is preposterous. People getting into politics to do good, that's snowflake talk. That is abysmal mentality. More often than not, politics just boils down to power. I'm not telling you anything new here. And we found out the hard way that Obama was just another politician when Edward Snowden revealed in 2013 that the American government was spying on U.S. citizens.
Dude,
all
this
under
is
the
crazy.
hopeful eyes of the Obama administration. No one's a hero. Remember when I called Obama a pimp? I disregard that. Take that down from the screen. But instead of learning their lesson, millennials just kept on guzzling those kumbaya-laced kombuchas. The rise of hashtag activism or slacktivism led millennials to delude themselves into thinking they could solve complex social issues just by posting on social media.
Yeah.
Remember that black square we all did during BLM?
Oh my god, I actually remember this shit.
It was ridiculous. It was a bunch of white people being the worst types of white people. But that type of social media posting is sort of like how they thought they solved racism just by voting for Obama. But in the end, all it did was create a
I think Americans, like white guys in America, understand they have this historical guilt. They feel like they need to do something. They have nothing to do. There's nothing to really fight for or protest or work against. So they take these social agendas and situations and they just try to do it the way they can by putting it in media and just spam about it on social medias.
Over-politicized internet that led to paranoia, resentment, and pretty much no change. All right, time for another speed suck round. Chris, will you do me the honors? Up first, brunch. Millennials didn't invent brunch, but they sure as made it terrible. What used to be a socially acceptable reason for day drinking has now become an overblown celebration for waiting in line. For what? Eggs, avocado toast, and Irish coffee? It seems like an entire generation has a drinking problem. Number 2, skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are the worst of all
Get that
the
shit
world.
out of
You
there.
feel uncomfortable, and they make everyone see your penis. You're basically wearing denim compression pants. This is why we have a fertility problem. Heinz colored ketchup. If you were alive in the early 2000s, your first psychedelic experience was probably colored ketchup. Why the f were we doing this, millennial?
Was that? Wait, I think I remember colored ketchup. I think I've seen it once in my life. Why would you have this? This is nasty. Why would you have green ketchup?
Why did I have green ketchup? White people.
Why was it green?
White. I just did that. Millennials. Why did I have green ketchup? White people calling things white. I just did that. I just did that a few seconds ago. But I think it stems from some weird mix of racial awareness, sincerity, and cancel culture, but when a white person makes fun of something for being really white, it's peak cringe. Am I guilty of this? Yes, but it's not even the whitest thing about me. Katy Perry. Millennials make Katy Perry way too powerful. She was fun at first, and then she got too much fame and money, and now she's going to help colonize space. And finally, anime. Millennials made anime cool, and then they made it not cool, and now they just are they wear
People thought anime was cringe as fuck, and then suddenly everybody loved it.
Anime t-shirt, and they think that's like the coolest thing you could do. Millennials made anime bad. All right, moving on. Next up is the world's favorite punching bag, the Zoomers. If you were born between 1997 and 2012, you're in Gen Z, and everyone basically hates you. And
sorry, I was talking.
Bad. All right, moving on. Next up is the world's favorite punching bag, the Zoomers. If you were born between 1997 and 2012, you're in Gen Z, and everyone basically hates you and thinks you're weak and lazy and everything that's wrong with society. But this was always the narrative that surrounded Gen X and millennials, so all this means is that Gen Z has just reached maturity. And truth be told, we've arrived a little worse for wear. Research shows that 43% of Zoomers struggle with depression, which is nearly twice the average of everyone over 25 years.
That is what Gen Z is known about. Depression and mental struggles. What kind of generation is this, man? What the fuck?
Years old. Experts believe that my generation is in the middle of a full-blown mental health crisis, so nobody is being honest about what the root of the problem really is. And the answer is social media. It's obviously social media. We were the first generation to come of age completely online. We are the digital guinea pigs. And turns out, this technology is destroying happiness? Who could have called it? Seems like a pretty easy solution here would be to put pressure on big tech companies to regulate their platforms better, but there's just one problem. They spend $1 billion on Congress. Between 2020 and 2024, tech companies spent $260 million on federal lobbying, and that's on top of personal donations from tech billionaires like Elon Musk, who he himself donated $291 million to political candidates and other political spending organizations during the 2024 election. And the rhetoric around technology is becoming, for lack of a better term, aggressive. Billionaire tech investor Peter Thiel said during a lecture that people critical of technology were, quote, legionnaires of the Antichrist. It's a bit big, a bit much, I would say there, Peter. So not only do you have a generation that was raised on dopamine-jacking online platforms, and tons of people getting rich off of those people, but you also have a society that's practically making it a moral imperative that technology grows at an impossible speed and becomes more and more ingrained in our lives each day. And then, as luck would have it, add to the pile a massive world-changing event that basically speed-runs several decades of technological integration into everyday life. Yes, I'm talking about COVID. Are you still with me? I've talked about it earlier, and people kind of glaze over when you talk about COVID, but we're talking about it right now. The pandemic fundamentally changed the formative years of my entire generation. If you were old enough to follow the news during COVID, and for sake, I hope you were. If you weren't, what are you doing here? You saw apocalyptic scenes of a virus and death around every corner.
I'm gonna be real. I was mad scared about this. I thought this was scary as fuck. And like, I remember how I would research and make sure to check if like this was coming to where I am at, or the area I'm at, or country where I'm at. And when the news came in that somebody is in the hospital with it, oh my God, things broke loose. People lost their mind. Yeah, I was a little bit scared, but like I woke up one day to a lady just screaming and shouting at somebody because they were close to them outside. I don't know how this began, because I was like sleeping, I had my window open, and she was freaking out for 30 solid minutes, not shutting up, screaming out of her lung at this random individual because they got close to him, and she's like, what if you had COVID? And I was like, oh my God, people lost their mind. And I look at my phone, my mom sent me text message and said, warned me about, apparently people are talking about radio that a lot of people, that food supplies might be low, so you should probably go to the grocery store and buy toilet paper and food just in case. And I'm like, okay. And I go to the grocery store and everybody is crazy. Everybody's losing it. Everybody's taking everything around. Like it's like an apocalyptic like movie, and everybody lost their shits. That was actually impressive how much people lost their shits.
1 billion people died in the US alone. And I feel like we still haven't wrapped our heads around that. And if the state of the world wasn't scary enough, your own childhood was turned upside down. Zoomers missed out on hands-on education. I didn't, because I graduated college the year COVID hit, but I'm still a Zoomer. You guys. I count. But this lack of good education had a disturbing effect on literally making them dumber. Math and science scores are down across the board. And once you take into account that their social development was stunned, you can start to see why 45% report feeling moderately or extremely lonely. But maybe they wouldn't feel so lonely if they removed 1 or 2 layers of that extreme irony they wrap themselves in every day. Guys, I'm talking to you. We have to figure that out. But Gen Z would rather sit in a dark room alone sharing edgy political memes than ever coming off a little bit cringe. Which is something we gotta get over, gang. It's really fun to be cringe, but you gotta get over that. Their aversion to any display of emotion they view as overly sincere or inauthentic is so strong that it actually makes them inauthentic. Dating experts actually think their sarcastic, irony-laced dating profiles are causing them to remain single. And I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry you guys didn't get to go to prom, but you're ruining your life over it, guys. But there is a little problem here. Once you spot the love of your life in a grocery store aisle, you're gonna have to talk to them. And that's spooky and scary. I understand that. But God forbid they do that, because the anxiety rates of this generation are through the roof, with some surveys revealing well over half experience social anxiety. And look, I'm not trying to make light of anxiety. I have a panic attack every
I like that people get panic attacks from the word job. Have you seen that? People lose their mind when somebody says the word job. They need it censored. They can't listen to that.
week. It's not something that I take lightly. But that doesn't excuse that weird ass Gen Z stare. What the is that? Why do you guys just stare all the time? Just a vacant look that Zoomers give people after they've asked a question. To experience it firsthand is chilling. It is haunting. I get that social media filled the void of actual socialization for them during lockdown, but the Gen Z stare really feels like they're watching you as if you were a TikTok they want to swipe past. So without small talk and the ability to express your emotions, how the f are you guys gonna survive in this world? After watching politics fail repeatedly, they are less likely to have strong attachments to any party. And that sounds good in theory, but without any strong belief system at all politically, they can become the target of extreme candidates. So basically they'll stare at you blankly while electing a politician who's gonna destroy humanity. All right, speed suck round for the Gen Z kids. Chris, put it on the screen. Let's get moving. Up first, plain shirt chain combo. I do that. You've seen me in a video doing that.
That was like more of like a 90s thing.
It's a disturbingly, almost disgustingly clean look. And I don't mean that in a cool slang way. The chain has always been a symbol of a sleazy scumbag. And it looks so good though. I love how I look in it. But this entire generation, including me, is cosplaying like they've got a cousin who can get you anything you need. Number 2, performative mustache. I didn't check with Jimmy before he wrote this. I feel like he's just talking about me. I'm just gonna read this as if it doesn't.
The mustache is back in, by the way.
Some people were born to wear a stash, and dare I say, the mustache chooses you. But there's nothing worse than a Gen Z wearing an ill-fitting mustache. Ew, gross. Damn, this is about me. Holding tiny mics too close to your mouth. Jesus, god damn, Jimmy, you're calling me out. Jimmy, do we need to talk? All right, ring lights, the use of ring lights. That also might be a millennial thing, Jimmy. Let's be careful there. It is super annoying though, in calling thing eras. That's a good one. Calling things eras, that's horrible and I don't do that. No, you're not in your coffee era because you got a Sabrina Carpenter Dunkin' Donuts treat. You just like pop stars and coffee. Eras are like millions of years. That's a weird thing to say and you're pissing me off. Taylor Swift ruined the word eras. And that's all I'm gonna say about Zoomers. I could say a lot more about it, but 1, I feel like I've been personally attacked several times already, and 2, you guys, it's my generation and we're the best and everyone else sucks. To any smarty pants out there who might be headed to the comment section to let me know how breaking down people based on groups is harmful, I say this. Of course people are more nuanced than just a label. You can't say everyone born within a certain date range is gonna act the same way. That's what people do with astrology and they're space racist. But even though we use imperfect means to make sense of large groups of people and the trends within them, it doesn't mean we should ignore the major historical and cultural events that helped shape us. If we were more understanding of the forces that helped shape our formative years, we might be a little sympathetic towards each other. But f boomers and Gen Xers. You guys are both dicks. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. I actually do all those things. And I know I've said that so many times at this point where it doesn't sound like a thing anymore, but it's really important that you do those things so that I get big and famous and rich. Once again, thank you to MyHeritage for sponsoring this video. Use my coupon code BigTug25 to get the MyHeritage bundle. 30-day free trial, free shipping, ancient origins,
you gotta censor that, man. People gonna get PTSD.
$25. Check it out. Link in the description. Do it. And also, speaking of big, famous, and rich, extratug.com. $4 a month. Look on the extra tug that's on the screen. You get your name at the end of the video. You get a bunch of extra videos throughout the week. Well, not throughout the week, throughout the month. You get one every week. But they're raunchy and crazy, and sometimes I dress up like Satan. No, that's not canon. I'm not Satan. I don't know if we want to include that. I don't know what the canon is anymore. But thank you guys for watching. If you hate a certain generation, let me know in the comments down below. And if you are a part of a certain generation, and you think your generation is better, tell me why, so I can point and laugh at you Gen Xers. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Everybody's arguing with other generations. Everybody thinks their generation is good. I think the only generation that actually acknowledged that they fucking suck is millennials, and that they're getting fucked. I mean, we can all acknowledge that millennials got fucked. Like, we can all acknowledge that. We all get that. Everybody gets that. But, like, I think the only one that criticize themselves are millennials, and I think they should have props for that. They do. Like, every other generation just says that they're like better than the other one. I wish I was born in Gen X era. I mean, I think like older eras would be like older generations, like the time itself look kind of fun. Like, it's more of the time itself. Nowadays everything's pretty plain. It's pretty plain. I need it censored. Yeah, we gotta censor that. People are gonna lose their mind. They don't want to deal with that shit. Can you imagine? You. This is a funny video though. WW video. That was funny. Holy fuck. Good recommendation. I don't know. I've never watched this channel before. Let me sub to it. What kind of videos do it post? Is it only these kind of videos? Do PSA really work? The Dark Reality Black Friday? Oh shit, I might actually watch the Dark Reality one day. That's interesting. That was a good channel. It's a pretty good channel. Dude, when Atari and Coloco came out, it got super good. Oh, I bet. Like, it must have been insane when you saw it for the first time. Man. Big Tug, don't do politics. Good. I don't really like politics. I think it's boring. Quit my job now. What? Starting over in 28 in a new year, new country. Good luck. That's crazy. Gen Z freaky. I'm getting a lot of generation like videos now. Wow. Wow. Anyways, y'all, it has been a really fun stream. I had a blast. We've been streaming now for 4 hours soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. I gotta get some food though. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry as fuck. It's been a good ass time. I'm gonna be live tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna go through like if there's any art submissions. We're probably gonna go through that, and then we're gonna have like a K-pop day pretty much. So tomorrow it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we're essentially having like a little bit of a K-pop day. But we're having another stream tomorrow, and then we'll see about if I'm doing another stream on Monday or Tuesday. But we'll see about it. I hope to do like one early next week at least. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out. I hope you had fun, and I hope you guys have a good day further. W stream, good stream, Addy. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah, everybody have a good night. I wish you all the best and enjoy yourself and take care. And I'll see you guys soon. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. We might do like a movie night next week. I think we might actually. It could be fun, and love to do more of those. But other than that, yeah, y'all have a good one. Take care and.